secure these lands, the ministry is taking measures to provide fencing by walling the lands to prevent any encroachment. Currently, as a minister, I'm still pursuing the matter and engaging all stakeholders to protect and secure the titles of those lands, especially those that do not have ones. On the particular case of the Department of Parks and Gardens land in Cantonment, the recent claimant to the portion of the land indicated that he acquired a title to the land in contention, but could not produce same after he took the matter to court. The court subsequently dismissed the case and requested the plaintiff to re-enter the case with a proper documentation. Mr. Speaker, our checks, however, revealed that the claimant did not have any valid documentation to the land. I wish to state that the land in question has a valid certificate of allocation dated 2nd October 1952 to the Department of Parks and Gardens. Mr. Speaker, the Land Use and Special Planning Authority, LUSPA, had in 2022 cautioned the general public to stay away from the use of the land for any private development purposes. Pursuant to the Land Use and Special Planning Act 2016 and its regulations, as well as the Local Governance Act, greenbelts, gardens and parks usage cannot be altered except through Parliament. In this regard, the Ministry is working closely with LUSPA to ensure that all the developers and citizenry who adhere to the planning and development permitting processes under the purview of the MMDAs. Mr. Speaker, regarding the department's lands in WA, for instance, I wish to confirm that the certificate of allocation dated 27 November 1975 has also been retrieved from the Lands Commission. In this regard, the Ministry has served notice to reclaim the encroached land of the department in Upper West region, which has been encroached by a developer to be used setting up of a fuel station. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I commend the Minister for his very objective response. My first supplementary question, Mr. Speaker, is to find out from the Honorable Minister if he is aware that this private developer, who he has rightfully informed this House does not have title to the land. Is the Minister aware that he has gone to place 2 containers at the Parks and Gardens land and is harassing the management of Parks and Gardens that he wants to take over and begin construction? Is he aware of that fact, and what is he doing to get those containers out of there and protect the management and staff of the Parks and Gardens and the land which belongs to all of us as the only green belt in the capital?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, indeed, I can confirm knowledge of the 2 containers that the claimant put there. Because immediately when it came to our attention, we mobilized to remove one of them and throw it out. But subsequently, then a court action came. Subsequent to the court's action, now that he is no more in court, we intend to remove the other one as quickly as possible so that the place is cleared for use by the state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my second question relates to the encroachment in the Upper West regional capital of WA. I hold in my hands...
Honorable, let's look at your question again.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I said other parts of Ghana. Yes.
Department of Parks Gardens in Accra and other parts of Ghana. Very well.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
The person is at last.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we know that when the Honorable Joe Wise is in the chair, our question must be comprehensive. So, Mr. Speaker, I hold in my hands an 8 March 2024 letter from the Lands Commission to the Upper West Regional Minister, who was trying to ward off the encroachers. And the Lands Commission wrote to the regional minister, and Mr. Speaker, I'll just quickly quote one paragraph, the second paragraph, to the minister. Quote, I wish to inform you that per the records of the Lands Commission, the developer has a valid land title document, deed of lease, covering the portion developed into a fuel filling station and must be noted as such. Because of this letter, the regional minister appears helpless, and the developers are continuing to encroach and build this fuel filling station. Is the Honourable Minister aware of this development, and what are you doing to protect the Parks and Gardens land in Wa and get these encroachers to back off? I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I did indicate earlier that the land in contention is covered by a certificate of allocation dated 27 November 1975 to the state. On the basis of this, we reject the claim by the Regional Lands Commission. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, we are not aware as a ministry of any decision by the state to relinquish its interest in the land. If that were to be the case, it should have been before this House. On the basis of that, we still believe that the land still holds as a property of government, Parks and Gardens for that matter, and we intend to reclaim it back to the state.
But the question was, what are you doing about the developer currently developing?
Mr. Speaker, we have begun a process to engage with the Lands Commission Upper West to investigate further how they came about with this title and subsequently apply the laws to remove the structures that have been put. Mr. Speaker, the portion of land is in twofold, Site A, Site B. So the Site A, measuring about 8 acres, is where this encroachment has happened. And we will take steps to demolish this unauthorized property on the land and get it reverted back to the state. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my final question will be the role of the Lands Ministry and the Lands Commission in all of these matters we are investigating as part of our parliamentary oversight. We see some complicity of a sort, particularly at the Lands Commission. I want to find out if the Honourable Minister for Local Government has engaged his counterpart at the Lands Ministry and what they are really doing to address this canker, because it's all over. We are receiving calls from all over the country, Western region, Volta region, Upper East region, and in no time all our green fields will be gone, and it is an existential threat. So have you had any engagement with the Lands Minister and the Lands Commission so that they will really stop this complicity, which has become very, very apparent?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to assure the Honourable Member that indeed there is some collaboration between local government and the Lands Ministry, culminating in some work before Cabinet, which I hope that Cabinet will soon approve and will come, which is aimed at protecting government or state lands and preventing such occurrences. So indeed there is some collaboration between local government and the Lands Ministry. We have put before Cabinet a document. We hope that pretty soon it will be out, and then we will address all of these things. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Awama, before I come here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to find out from the Minister for Local Government whether he's been served with an inventory of properties belonging to the Ministry of Local Government. And for that matter,
I don't remember for Norton, Samulokuja to Ablakwa. You may ask your question.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Honourable Minister for the Interior what the Ministry's plans to protect land belonging to the Ghana Prison Service located at Roman Ridge in Accra, which are being encroached upon. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ghana Prison Service land at Roman Ridge currently accommodates 3 prison institutions. That is the Senior Correctional Center, the Prisons Officers Training School, and James Camp Prison. Mr. Speaker, as part of measures to prevent encroachment on the land, the prison administration has since 2006 taken steps to construct a fence wall along the borders of the land. Currently, the entire area is completely fenced. Officers have been deployed to regularly patrol the boundaries to deter potential encroachers. As a result of these measures, there has been no encroachment on the land, except for litigation with 2 individuals who claimed portions of the land and were eventually awarded judgment in their favor on 4th of April 2012 and 31st March 2023, respectively. Mr. Speaker, thank you. Yes,
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Honorable Minister for the Interior for his response. Is the Honorable Interior Minister aware that these litigants who are demanding to be given portions of the land and have this judgment, is he aware that the Ghana Prison Service has appealed the judgment, seeking to protect the land, and what kind of support is his ministry giving the Ghana Prison Service in this battle in the courts to Ghana Prison Service land?
Yes, Honorable Minister. Mr. Speaker, my colleague is right. The processes of seeking justice in this country, it is apt of an agency under the Ministry of Interior to make an appeal where a court of a competent jurisdiction rules. Mr. Speaker, the Interior Ministry will support the Ghana Prison Service in doing so. However, I want to put on record that no persons are above the law. So we shall continue to work and abide by the tenets of the judicial system in this country. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, my second supplementary question relates to the Lands Commission's role in all of this. It does not appear that the Lands Commission is supporting the work of the Interior Minister Service to protect the land. I hold in my hands a letter dated 6 July 2020, signed by Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Suleimana Mahama, addressed to the Director General of the Ghana Prison Service. And it reads, Petition, lease granted in respect of plot number 6, situate at Roman Ridge Residential Area. In 2005, the Lands Commission, on behalf of the President of the Republic of Ghana, granted a lease over plot number 6, Roman Ridge Residential Area in Accra. And this is the prison service land in issue. In Accra, to Professor Kweku Apia Edu. The lessee has brought to the attention of the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and the Commission that he has not been able to take possession of the land. His land is being cultivated by persons who claim to have authorization from the prison service. Since the state has already committed the land, the Commission requests that the lessee be given access to the plot to honor the development covenants in the lease, copy attached. We look forward to your prompt action on this request. So here we are, the Lands Commission is contesting what the Interior Ministry is telling us. And he's saying that they have given portions of the land to this Professor Kweku Appiah-Edu. So same government, conflicting status between Interior Minister and Lands Minister. What are you going to do to really resolve this matter and get the Lands Commission to align with the position of your ministry so that we can protect the Bosta Institute lands which belongs to the Ghana Prison Service?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, if I heard my honorable colleague very well, he makes a statement making reference to a letter dated 2005, if I'm right, or 6.
Well, Mr. Speaker, to guide, the letter I read is dated 6 July 2020. And the Lands Commission is claiming the content, is claiming that they handed over portions of that land to the president in 2005. So that's where the 2005 comes in. Professor Kweku is claiming that he has title from 2005. But the letter is dated 6 July 2020 to the Director General of the Ghana Prison Service.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, for ease of convenience, I shall read the last 2 lines of my response. And I did say that as a result of these measures, there has been no improvement on the land, but except for litigation. And this litigation, Mr. Speaker, has gone through legal processes, and a ruling has been made. So the question between lands and interior and government not doing well does not arise, because a judgment has been made. And Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleague gave me an advice which I took in good faith for the prison service to make an appeal. So I think if it's the same person going back to what he just said, then I don't know whether I should carry on with his advice, or I don't know. I still want to be guided, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Honorable Minister for Interior if he is aware that this gentleman, Professor Kweku Appiah-Edu, who is a senior advisor to the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, according to the Ghana Prison Service, in these documents I have here, has gone to demolish portions of the fence that you have told us about, the fence you are constructing. Are you aware that he has led allegedly national security operatives? That is what the Ghana Prison Service is alleging, that they are national security operatives, and they have demolished portions of the fence, seeking to take over. Are you aware about this development, and what are you doing to assist the prison service?
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, the gentleman in question is a distinguished gentleman, and for the records, when this matter started, he was not working for the Vice President. Mr. Speaker, the fact that somebody is working for a politician does not restrict him or her from pursuing his or her own private business, so that has to be cleared. Mr. Speaker, he did say, and he said it's alleged. Mr. Speaker, there isn't anything to substantiate that national security operatives, for that matter, have been assigned, or rather, if you like, approached by the same gentleman to go and demolish. And thirdly, it has not come to my attention that same has been done. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Honorable Minister for the Interior that this proposal from the private developer, what is the developer getting in return? I don't believe that this is some Father Christmas who has just descended upon the prison service to do them a favor. What is he getting in return? Is he getting portions of the land? If he is, what size? What acreage? Let's know what the consideration is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Obviously, the developer would want to get portions of the land. Mr. Speaker, I do not have the accurate size or measurement of the acres of land that the developer will get. But the answer to his question is that yes, the developer will get portions of the land. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, my second question is about this agreement. Since the Honourable Minister can't tell us now the portion of land that a private developer is going to have, can he commit to making a copy of the agreement available to this House so that we can all, this is our, it's a public project, it's a Ghana Prison Service. It shouldn't be shrouded in secrecy. In the spirit of transparency and accountability, can the Honourable Interior Minister make the agreement available to us in this House?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much, and I shall do so by submitting to the appropriate oversight committee. I thank you very much.
Or the Committee on Defence and Interior can also visit the headquarters and request all those information agreements and report to the House as suggested. You have one more.
Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful for your directive. Mr. Speaker, my final supplementary question. Is the Honourable Interior Minister aware that the officers at the barracks have been asked to prepare to move out ahead of this arrangement? And what can he tell us about this whole directive? Where are they moving to? Is it fair to them? And how are they going to continue to serve our country? Because it appears there's some disquiet about this whole directive for them to move out of the barracks.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, I'm aware of that directive, but I'm also aware that as part of the processes of permanently settling the junior officers, in order for the developer to be able to build on the same parcel of land that they occupy, it is only proper for them to be temporarily relocated. And so, Mr. Speaker, information available to us is that they are going to temporarily relocate to rented accommodations. And when the project is over, they will come back and occupy. And Mr. Speaker, it is also important for my colleague to note that the developer is building over 400 vis-a-vis the current 340. So once that project is over, there is room to accommodate additional 100.
Since His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has delivered the free SHS, his government is better than Nkrumah's government.
And I'll advise our opponents to also do likewise and stop the insults. I have been the most insulted. Indeed, I think my government has been the most insulted government in the history of this country. And every day you listen to the radio and personal invectives and insults are rained on my person. And like I said, those things are not going to distract me. I have a job to do. Don't worry. I was given a mandate by the people of Ghana, and I'm not going to let those useless insults distract me from that mandate. Don't worry. Don't worry. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. If you see what your enemy will do to themselves, then you can guess what they will do to you if they get you. So wait. The other day I received an audio recording on my WhatsApp, and I opened it and listened to it. Indeed, I felt so sad. I felt sad. I mean, no cultured person should ever do what the woman who was talking on that audio did, Auntie B or whatever her name is, insulting the former president of this country. I mean, it's unacceptable. I don't know how many of you have heard that audio recording. It's unacceptable.
You are ripped now. Even small money you send to yourself, the bank collect, everybody collect, e-levy, why? You know, it's terrible. Then go and read the Ghana Demographic Health Survey. Health outcomes, double disease burden. In 2024, young guys are getting even all kinds of lifestyle, plenty things. Healthcare service, if you don't have money, cash and carry. Quality of education, bobo, kids can't even spell properly. Class size, big. Then come and sit here and say, oh, we are doing it. Nanado is doing what? What is he doing? What is it? What are you saying? We feel it. What are you talking about? You do what? Because in the name of politics, who speak the truth? Because the person from our hometown. You don't get me. Or from your wherever. Let's be honest for once. The reason we are not doing what is because we are not honest as a citizen. Countries that do well, they value the truth. And truth is not just saying yes or no. Truth is looking for facts. You look for inquiry. That's why we go to school. Education is the search for truth. The truth about malaria, the truth about unemployment, the truth about currency depreciation, the truth about our own prejudice. Research is to find truth. So you push money into research, medicine, hypertension, research into cancer. That's truth. So societies that value truth, like Japan, they'll do better than you because you don't value truth. You get me? If you don't, you can pray. But that's not truth. If you don't value, societies that advance, they value truth. They spend money to ascertain the truth about their situation and they solve it. But you don't want to accept the truth. You don't want to accept the truth. You want to tell yourself you are the best. And you believe it. The fact that you believe a lie is just delusion. Now you can be delusional. Now delusion means you are lying to yourself. You can lie to somebody. That's dishonest. But delusion is worse than dishonesty. Because delusion means you know you are wrong, but you believe, you convince yourself you are right. We are delusional. Ghana, Black Star of Africa for where? First country of Sub-Saharan, so what? Go and look at all the facts. Some guy did a video on Cote d'Ivoire. Go and look at the Cote d'Ivoire video. Look at the stadiums they are playing in. Look at the stadium of football. Look at the parks. The parks in Cote d'Ivoire you are seeing. Is there anyone in Ghana like this? Even Accra Sports Stadium, they stopped that they are going to do music concerts in a stadium. You go and see nails on the floor and things. Our football is going bad. Then you get up and say, what are you talking about? We can't even compete in football. There's no grassroots, AstroTurfs everywhere. We've lost it. There's no commitment to excellence anywhere. People don't even read any properly. Stories are poorly written everywhere. We are just living, shouting every day, convincing ourselves that we have the first sub-Saharan African country for successful elections. You sit there, look at Senegal. Don't rest on your... Let's get serious. Let's go back to truth. Speak the truth. Why are we failing?
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition. Privilege of being alive. Right, good morning. Welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 18th day of July 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of this show. Our gratitude will always go to the Most High God for this rare privilege and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. Apologies for the interruption our broadcast. We apologize for that, but thankfully we're on and we're going to continue with the show. I'll be introducing our panelists for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. YE empowers 600,000 Ghanaians. President Kufuor comments agency. Tertiary business schools challenge launched. President nominates 2 to Supreme Court. GRA exceeds media target by 138.69 million cedis. The Ghanaian Times. Government steps up youth employment agenda as it plans to support security services to absorb YE beneficiaries. Supreme Court defers ruling on anti-gay bill injunction until judgment on substantive case. Regulate use of honorary doctorate titles. Professor Nyakun. GRA exceeds half-year revenue target by 138.6 million. Daily Guide. Ex-Tall boss extradited to U.S. for bribery. GRA on course to achieving 146 billion cedis tax target. Lands Ministry exposes a black over sale of state lands. Prozeanka takes on Sami Jemfi. VIP commends IGP for police transformation. Supreme Court defers decisions on anti-LGBTQ bill injunctions. The New Crusading Guide. 100,000 youth gain jobs under my administration. Akufo-Addo. Professor Yanka jabs Sami Jemfi over false statements about University of Ghana and KNUST. Undermining the principle of equality in 7-day Pentecostal Assembly's election dispute. Yvette Nadede wins Anas Aremia Anas Most Promising Student Journalist Award. LPG Marketers Association rejects cylinder recirculation model. Eastern Inzima Traditional Council distills Omahine. The Insight. State capture. Ablakwa Lands Ministry trade blows over sale of state lands. Over 100,000 youth get indirect jobs under my administration, President Akufo-Addo. Accept the outcome of 2024 elections if you lose. EC boss to political parties. How Cameroon's 91-year-old Paul Biya plans to stay in power. Osu still condemns fraudulent declaration of Michael Norte Okwe as acting mine chair. The Daily Statesman. YEA makes massive gains in job creation. President Lord's innovative efforts. First Regional Office of Ghana Publishing opens in Kumasi. Ghana hosts AU Executive Council meeting in Accra today. The New Finder. GRA bags 68 billion cedis in 6 months. 37.6% nominal growth over same period last year. President appoints COP Yohunu as Deputy IGP. 120-bed state-of-the-art for Mena and Kumewu hospitals commissioned. President comments YEA promises to enhance its appeal. Ghana Publishing opens first regional office in Kumasi. Daily Post. IEA in league with MPP to clean up Baumia with a presidential debate that will have questions leaked to the MPP flag bearer as happened in 2008. Ghana's economic managers have lost it, but Baumia's priority is a debate. John Jinapo. NPP government has neglected basic education. Clement Apak. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in. Red, how is it now? Boss, let's go back. Here. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
In today's modern world, Stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Machasi.
Her smile, the fresh breath.
Me Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling when you know Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu me into kwampo. Oh, you right. And you mo give us JC mixture and any capsules. Ah, you num boom. And what some na mo kana. E bua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye pemasima. Ya, we be bua wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya ne nim tisese ne oyi chokmo. Give us BC mixture and a capsule.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for an inquiry when you feel to me.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
The Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, is proudly 50 years now. We are celebrating it with the birth of a new Arab-Africa Cooperation for Development, dedicated to supporting the vision for the Africa we want. On Sunday, July 21st, 2024, as part of the African Union Mid-Year Coordination meeting in Accra, Ghana, Africa's heads of state, leading business figures, heads of financial institutions from both Africa and the Arab region will join forces at a special leaders' breakfast, not only to celebrate 50 years of Arab-Africa partnership, but also to launch the Arab-Africa Financial Consortium, a new club of leading multilateral financial institutions, development finance institutions, and major sovereign wealth funds, brought together to chart a stronger and exciting future of cooperation and transformation. To register or learn more, go to badea.org.
Star 712.
Which are these? Bombing on Greece. Yeah, and now you were back in Greece. To say why you fit on the lune. Yes, the luckiest at Aroma. To say about from Massa Echeman. Yeah. Now check this. Sister Abna, aka Kodihima. The luckiest at Aroma. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss lady back up there. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, be you smooth. Way enter your friend will upgrade. Luckiest Aroma. And the best part, that with the luckiest, will be our shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number. Star 712 hash. No.
Coswato ticket to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but I have some great news from MTN for you. And MTN says that this month, July, is SME month. SME month. So if you own a small or medium-sized business, get ready for an exciting month ahead, as MTN Ghana brings you a host of exciting events carefully planned for SMEs across the regions. Businesses will be given the opportunity to set up at the MTN head office at the SME pop-up event from the 4th to the 30th of July. There will be quizzes on the social media pages with exciting prizes to be won. MTN will have developmental and capacity training for SMEs across the regions. There will be promotions and major discounts on their products to boost your pocket and your business. The month's activities will be capped by SME fairs on July 18th to 20th at the Tetekwashin Tachin Triangle and July 26th to 28th at the KJTR Market. Don't miss out on an open invitation to gain access to top-notch solutions, exposure to partners, and an opportunity to put your business on the map. Be a part of MTN SME Month 2024. Contact MTN today or call or WhatsApp MTN on 0244 308 111 to know more. And Carol 360 toothpaste is the recommended family toothpaste, which is also approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Carol 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Carol 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step up by constantly using Carol 360 toothpaste. It brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Carol 360 toothpaste. It's another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasu, and it's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. But the pains of climbing the stairs, when not exercising, could be challenging irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right, so with me on the show this morning, I have a government spokesperson, Kofi Tonto. Kofi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Right. We're expecting the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, to join us here on the show. Okay. So I read somewhere that you had your birthday sometime this week.
Oh, yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's still fresh.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very grateful to God. I'm 37.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So I've come far. And so I had well wishes and messages from friends and family and other people. Quite humbling. The challenge with birthdays now is the messages, how you respond to every single message.
It's crazy.
That is the biggest challenge that I have now. But I'm committed to trying to get back to everyone who made the time to wish me well. But I'm grateful to God for how far He's brought me as a young person, growing up in Ghana, in the US, coming back to Ghana, all the experiences that I've had in my life. So far so good.
All right. Started a family yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have 2 kids. My wife and the kids are in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2, a boy and a girl. Yeah.
All right. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. So we'll start off with this one. Now, President Akufo-Addo has appointed COP Christian Tete Yohuno as Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, and the appointment is pursuant to the advice of the Police Council at its meeting held yesterday, Wednesday, 17 July 2024. COP Yohuno has been in the service for over 3 decades and has held various key positions within the Ghana Police Service. In a letter signed by Eugene Ahin, the Director of Communications at Office of the President, Nana Akufo-Addo congratulated COP Yohuno on his appointment. Now, in a related development, security analyst Adam Bona is not enthused about the timing of the appointment of a new Deputy Inspector General of Police. According to him, the decision for President Akufo-Addo to select COP Christian Tete Yohuno for the position comes just a few months before the general election. And as where COP Yohuno's exceptional credentials and dedication to duty were acknowledged. However, the security analyst insists that the proximity to the December polls is already brewing suspicion among critics. Speaking on Newsnight, Mr. Bona admitted that COP Yohuno is a fine and very disciplined police officer. Quote, the convention all over the world, you don't tamper with any security architecture, usually 6 months to elections. Trump attempted to do that before the election, and his advisors asked him not to do it, and he stopped. He also questioned the rationale behind the position accompanying the newly appointed Deputy Inspector General of Police. On the same show, Mr. James Agalga, former Deputy Interior Minister, agreed, adding that the specific position of operations lacks context and clarity. Quote, is that to say that we're going to have yet another appointment in charge of administration or what? What I do know and what the position has always been is that we've had one slot reserved for Deputy Inspector General of Police. What do you make of this consensus?
First of all, a very good morning to you, and then a very good morning to your cherished viewers.
Right.
Let me put it on record that I'm not a security expert. And so what I would say will be my view of what is going on. I wouldn't pretend to be an expert on an issue that I'm not. I think the first thing we have to look at is the legality of the decision. Is it legal? Is it right? Has it been done before? Do we have any convention? Has the president done anything wrong? I think we all agree, even per the statement you've read, that nothing illegal has occurred. I think the issue really has to do with the fact that a person is being appointed within a specific time frame. They didn't even question the competence and the technical know-how of COP Yawuno. I think what they are saying is that timeline, we are just about 4 months to an election, and then they feel that changing the security architecture may pose a challenge to the work the police ought to do. I find it quite difficult to accept it because COP is no mean a position, and he still has influence to do whatever he wants to do. So I think we have to really look at it like, does he qualify to be in the position that he's been appointed? I think there's no issues there. And I don't see how a deputy IGP is going to influence an election more than the IGP. I don't see how that is going to happen. So we should have confidence in the decision the president has taken. I don't think we have any evidence to suggest that COP Yawuno is partisan, is incompetent, and doesn't have the technical know-how to play the role he is supposed to play. Let's give him the benefit of doubt to do his work. I think he's been doing his work, like you said, for 30 years or so, and he's distinguished himself. So we should allow him to do the work that he has to do. I don't see how him coming in to assist at that level is going to impact anything. Let's get it clear. The Constitution says that to be a president, you have to convince 50% of the voting population plus one person. As political parties, what we all have to do is to go out there, engage the people. What the Electoral Commission has to do is to put in place the requisite processes and systems to make sure the election is free and fair. What the police has to do is to, where they are situated or asked to participate, they do that in a free and fair manner. Where other security officers have been asked to play a role, they also do that in a free and fair manner. Even as politicians, our utterances, the commentary we will make, the media, all of these things come together in a comprehensive manner to ensure that we have a free and fair election. What is the media saying? What agenda is the media setting? What things are they saying to incite or otherwise? These are all things that come together to ensure that we have a free and fair elections. So I will no means undermine the role of the security apparatus, especially the police. But I think we have a comprehensive strategy as a nation and as the Constitution allows us to go into an election and conduct it in a free and fair manner if we all play our role as we are supposed to do. I don't see how one individual is going to change the face of the election. I don't see it if we all play our role and hold each other accountable, Randy. So I think we should allow him to work and let's see how things pan out. That would be my initial comment on this.
Okay. So Sammy Jemphis joined us. Good morning, Sammy. Right. So we're just looking at the appointment of COP Yawuno as deputy IG and some concerns that have been raised by some others, and so we're looking at this Adam Bona, who says he's not enthused about the timing of the appointment. He insists that the proximity to the December polls is already brewing suspicion among critics. And he admitted that COP Yono is a fine and very disciplined police officer. However, he says the convention all over the world is that you don't tamper with any security architecture, usually 6 months to elections. And that Donald Trump attempted to do that before the election, and his advisors asked him not to do it, and he stopped. And he's also questioned the rationale behind the position accompanying the newly appointed Deputy Inspector General. And Mr. James Agaga, who I think is the ranking on Interior, also agreed and said that the specific position of operations lacks context and clarity, and is asking if we're going to have another appointment in charge of administration or what. And he says what he knows is that the position has always been one slot reserved for Deputy Inspector General of Police.
Look, very good morning to our cherished viewers.
Yeah.
In my dealings with the police, particularly in the organization of demonstrations and so on, I have come to know COP Yohuno. And I can tell you that indeed he's a fair-minded, affable, down-to-earth, disciplined, competent, professional police officer that I personally admire. And so, to that extent, any appointment or any decision that seeks to promote him is welcome. I think is in order. And I would just want to congratulate COP Yohuno on this new appointment. I agree with some of the concerns that have been raised. But I would want to give COP Yohuno the benefit of the doubt. And so I will not go into the merits or demerits of the concerns that have been raised. All I have to tell COP Yohuno is this. Sir, you've been in the police service for decades, you've paid your dues to this country, and you've served diligently and has made a very good name for yourself. It is very clear that the current establishment are not happy and enthused about the current IGP. And it is very clear that even though your appointment may be well-deserved, your promotion may be well-deserved, the underlying consideration may be to undermine the current IGP. And be that as it may, you have a duty to God and country, to be fair to all manner of persons, irrespective of their political affiliations, and to do your work diligently, professionally, and with a sense of fidelity to the state, and not an octogenarian president who has barely 4 months to hand over power. So we will be watching you. We'll be looking forward to seeing you performing your duties in support of the IGP, performing your duties diligently in the interest of the Republic, as we have always known you to be. For now, all I can say is that congratulations. Doc, I'm done.
Look, I would just say that I don't think the government has any intent to undermine. That I would disagree with Samuel. But generally, I think he's made a good point by giving the deputy IGP the opportunity to prove himself. I think all of us, consensus, that he's a fine gentleman. I haven't had the opportunity to engage him, but from him engaging him, and even persons you've read commentaries from, all agree that he has what it takes to be the IGP, deputy IGP. But let the record show that the government doesn't have any interest to undermine anybody. Absolutely not. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. In a related development, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, has urged all political parties to accept the outcome of the 2024 general elections. During the presentation of a democracy CAF to the EC by the leadership of Parliament in Accra on Wednesday, the chairperson of the EC, Jean Mensah, assured of transparent elections and urged political leaders to accept the outcome of the polls. Quote, just like the football match we serve as the midwives that bet the elections, we are the referees that conduct that lay the elections and the processes that lead to the election day itself. So as referees, we are committed to ensuring that our activities from now in the lead up to the election and all our electoral processes are transparent. They are open, they are fair, and they involve the collaboration of our key stakeholders. That is the political parties and the citizenry. We commit to ensuring transparency in all aspects of our work. We will commit to maintaining and showing that level of transparency across all aspects of our work. So we also want to entreat and call upon the contestants of the elections to accept the outcomes of the election. Surely there will be a winner and surely there will be losers, she said. Sammy, does this comfort you?
Oh, any assurances from the Ghana Police Service that they will be professional?
This is the Electoral Commission.
The Electoral Commission?
Yes, so that's Mrs. Jean Mensah, and she's saying that, look, just like the football match, we serve as the midwives that birth the elections. We are the referees that conduct, that lead the elections and the processes that lead to the election day itself. So as referees, we are committed to ensuring that our activities from now in the lead up to the election and all our electoral processes are transparent, they are open, they are fair, and they involve the collaboration of our key stakeholders, that is the political parties and the citizenry. We commit to ensuring transparency in all aspects of our work. We will commit to maintaining and showing that level of transparency across all aspects of our work. So we also want to entreat and call upon the contestants of the election to accept the outcomes of the election. Surely there will be a winner and surely there will be losers.
In principle, they are right. And we can only give them the benefit of the doubt and wait to see what they will do. But as President Mahama and the NDC have said time and again, we are going into this election with our referee in our pocket like Azuma Nelson. And we are leaving no stone unturned in ensuring that the processes before, during, and after conform to the rules that all parties have agreed to. And so vigilance is our motto. We are very focused, and we will be ensuring that the Electoral Commission lives up to this very assurance they have given. I don't want to go into past issues about this particular Electoral Commission. I don't want to go into some of the things that some of those in leadership at the EC have said and done. All I can say is that with barely 143 days to the December 7 polls, we are very focused, we're determined to win the election and to win it in a very clean way, in a very free and fair manner. And we expect the EC to do what is expected of them under the laws of this country. And if that is done, I'm sure there will not be any problems because after everything is said and done, the peace and stability of this nation has to be preserved. And the Electoral Commission has an important role in ensuring that it manages the election in such a way that all parties will be at peace with whatever verdict that is declared. So let's wait and see what they do. But we are not naive to believe bare assurances and mere words from this particular Electoral Commission. So we're going into the election with our own referee in our pocket.
Kofi?
Yeah, I think generally the Electoral Commission has a major responsibility for all of us to trust the work they do. I, for one, will not sit anywhere and defend the Electoral Commission on anything, because they are an independent body that is supposed to do work to protect the integrity of the contest, and they must do that. As a political party, as a government, we will not interfere with the works of the Electoral Commission. We will not defend the Electoral Commission. They must do their work, and we must all allow them to do their work. So it is good that the Electoral Commission has come out to assure the good people of this republic that they are going to do their work diligently. And they must. I have sat on TV and I've criticized the Electoral Commission, I think about 4 or 5 months ago, on a decision they took. And I will not hesitate to criticize the Electoral Commission again. So they should do what they are supposed to do. We are not going to do any praise singing for the Electoral Commission. The Constitution reposes a significant degree of confidence in what they are supposed to do. Parliament approves the requisite budget they need to do the work they are supposed to do. They have competent people who are supposed to know supposed to have the technical know-how to do the work they are supposed to do. I think they have everything at their disposal to execute their mandate in a free and fair manner, and they must do that. As politicians, we must stay away from, chastising, attacking, etc. And that's why I think Sammy's position, reasonably, is good. That let's allow them to do their work, and let's be vigilant. As political parties, what are the structures you are putting in place to make sure that your people go out and vote, and they get the opportunity to vote? What are the strategies you are putting in place to ensure that the votes are counted, and no outside material, foreign material is put in a box, and that whatever is supposed to be counted is counted? Once you do that and it's transmitted rightfully to the EC and they announce, we must all agree. We must all put this nation forward. As a young politician, I put this nation forward first before anything, even before my own political career. I would rather this nation stands in a peaceful manner before I become a CEO, a minister, or anything. I would rather that. I would rather Ghana stands, that our youth get the opportunity to get jobs, our youth and our citizenry live peacefully before my elevation. And I think that's all we should strive for. We shouldn't put our interests first to the extent that we will destroy this nation just for political power. So we should allow the EC to work and do what they are supposed to. I will never defend the EC. They should do their work. What we would rather do is criticize them. If they make a mistake, we'll criticize them to make sure they go on the right path. Other than that, I will not interfere, I will not even comment.
Right. So I think on Tuesday, we woke up to fuel prices, and here I refer to petrol and diesel, crossing the 15 cedi a litre mark. Now, Member of Parliament for Yape Kusogu, John Jinapo, the Honorable John Jinapo, has called on the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to address the pressing issue of the city's depreciation to mitigate rising fuel prices, rather than focusing on debates ahead of the December elections. Mr. Jinapo's comments come in response to the recent increase in petroleum product prices, which has sparked widespread concern among Ghanaians. Speaking to journalists, Mr. Jinapo criticized the government's economic management, particularly highlighting the ineffective implementation of a gold for oil policy. This policy was intended to stabilize fuel prices by leveraging gold reserves, but according to Jinapo, it has failed to achieve its objectives. Quote, "The managers of the economy have to sit up, and clearly the Bank of Ghana is losing it. While the Bank of Ghana is spending millions of cedis and dollars on a gold for oil program, the currency is not stabilizing." He emphasized that the city's continued depreciation is driving up fuel prices and worsening the cost of living for Ghanaians. The city is depreciating, fuel prices are going up, cost of living is going up, and everybody is suffering. But worst of all, wages and salaries are stagnating. Wages and salaries are not going up. The managers of the economy have lost it. And Mr. Jinapo urged Dr. Bawumia, who heads the government's economic management team, to focus on these critical economic issues instead of engaging in political debates. Quote, "I think that Dr. Bawumia, instead of calling for a debate, should rather spend some time concentrating on managing the economy. He should stop the unnecessary call for a debate, do his work as the head of the economic management team, and ensure that we deal with the ever-rising cost of fuel." So we know that basically the price of fuel products are triggered by three main things. So it's either the price of the product is of crude, or whether it's finished product.
On the world market?
Yes. The exchange rate, or taxes and levies. Now, we have not seen an upward adjustment in the price of crude on the market. And I believe that in the last 6 months or so, we've also not seen some new taxes or an increase in taxes on fuel. So it's pretty obvious that we're having these increments as a result of the strength of the city. And he says that the managers of the economy have lost it, and so the vice president must prioritize managing the economy and not a debate.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, I just saw this. So in a really, I said transport fares to go up by 15% Monday, July 22.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think I'm not really sure what John Jinapo is trying to achieve with the comments he made. Because it sounds to me, in one breath, he wants the vice president to comment on the dollar issues, if I heard you right.
No, it says he should work on it. He didn't ask him to comment. Okay. It says that he should. It says that, let me just quote him properly here. It says, I think that Dr. Baumia, instead of calling for a debate, should rather spend some time concentrating on managing the economy. He should stop the unnecessary calls for a debate, do his work as head of the economic management team, and ensure that we deal with the ever-rising cost of fuel.
But what shows His Excellency is not doing his work as the head of the economic management team? He's doing his work as the head of the economic management team, which to an extent is an advisory body to assist cabinet, to assist the president, to implement his economic policies. EMT meets on the times that they have to meet, to engage in the activities that they have to engage in, to support the work of cabinet. So I don't see how he's saying that the vice president should focus on his work as the head of the economic management team. You should check the records. Is the vice president as the head of the economic management team not meeting to discuss and deliberate on the economy so they can advise cabinet? I don't think so, because I know that the economic management meets to discuss various economic issues.
I guess it's focused on outcomes.
Oh, of course, but Randy, we should look at outcomes in its comprehensive manner. We had a full downturn on the economy. Nobody doubted it. I mean, we saw inflation, we saw all other issues, debt exchange, everything. We've seen a significant degree of improvement in terms of all indicators aside from the exchange rate. These are facts. If you look at growth rate, if you look at inflation, if you look at other things that we had to put in place to even satisfy the IMF requirements, we've been able to do all of it, except for the dollar, which we haven't reached where we want to reach. And it's so because it's one of the most difficult things to do, especially as an open economy, where majority of what you do relies on imports. Just last 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so, another tranche of money came from the IMF. Government is expecting further tranches to come in to augment. Then the Honorable John Jinapo raises issues on gold for oil. Now, why is the Vice President not, the gold for oil policy has not been successful? But I think we all recall, as part of the IMF policy, that the government should slow down on the gold for oil policy. I'm sure you are aware of that. So, in one breath, the government should slow down. In another breath, something that should reduce in speed is supposed to achieve optimal value. How is that possible? We can really ascertain the value and the impact of the gold for oil at a particular time. Let's go back to 2023. I recall in October 2022, the dollar started increasing, causing sharp depreciation. I think it was October 2022. That's when we saw the dollar moving from 1 to 10 to 1 to 16 or so. Petrol went all the way up to about 23 cedis or so. I think petrol was 18 and then diesel was about 23. And then in 2023, early 2023, we implemented the gold for oil. We all saw the impact. Petrol came down almost to 10 cedis. And then IMF issues came. Government was asked to slow down on the good for oil policy. So how is the good for oil policy going to have the same impact if government has been asked to slow down on it?
So has government of Ghana stopped the good for oil
No,
policy?
it hasn't stopped. The degree of it.
How?
The IMF asked government to slow down on the level of the good for oil policy.
To stop or slow down?
No, slow down, not stop. They said they must gradually phase it out. If you read the recommendation that the IMF gave. Meaning that, let's say, for example, if you were pumping 1 billion cedis into it, you have to drastically reduce that 1 billion cedis that you were pumping into the good for oil. So you can't have the same impact. Remember, even when we were doing the good for oil in 2023, it was a percentage of the total imports.
Yes.
We imported about 347 metric tons. The gold for oil was bringing in just about 20% or so.
Yes.
So if you have to reduce it from 20% to, let's say, 10% or 5%, definitely the impact won't be the same. The impact can't be the same. So let's situate the issues in the right context. You know, so I don't know how all of a sudden John Jinapor expects the gold for oil to work the same way the gold for oil was working in 2023. The government is doing everything possible to turn things around. And we have seen progress. The facts show that we have seen progress. But we haven't gotten to where we all want to get to. That's also a fact, especially on the dollar. And we ought to do more to help bring
on that, on what you just said about the exchange rates, especially the dollar. I want to pick your mind on something.
Yeah.
In 2014, if I'm right, Dr. Baumia held one of his public lectures, Restoring the Value of the Cedi, where he first of all told us how incompetent the managers of the economy were as far as dealing with the strength of the cedi against the major currencies were concerned. Then he followed up with prescriptions on what he believed were what should be done, what any sensible government must do to restore the value of the cedi. Then he followed up by tweeting on his socials, directing us to where to download the document, Restoring the Value of the Cedi. How come that for close to 8 years, all the prescriptions he had in 2014 that he spoke about, that he directed us to go and download and read, has not worked or been implemented?
Well, I think if you say has not worked,
yes,
we have to situate it properly.
Okay.
We need to look at the data pre-COVID and then post-COVID. I know people always say you bring up COVID, but it's a fact. What does the data say pre-COVID? Yes, the rate of depreciation pre-COVID and then the rate of depreciation post-COVID. And then post-COVID, what has happened?
I hope you appreciate that it was pre-COVID that the government set up a 40-member committee.
I remember that.
To investigate
the issues relating to the dollar. Yeah, I remember that Franklin Kujo and co were on the committee. Yeah, but my point is that pre-COVID, I'm not saying we didn't have any degree of depreciation, because as an open economy, you are always going to suffer with depreciation. It's the rate of depreciation that you have to work on to make sure that you don't depreciate at astronomical rates. This government did that. Is that a fact or not? I think we need to check that. And the fact shows that, indeed, the rate of depreciation was slower compared to what we came to meet. Then post-COVID, certain activities happened that impeded our ability to support the currency the way we typically, or the suggestions that His Excellency provided. So, for example, and I've said this so many times, if you have a demand of $200 million for petrol imports, petroleum products, and that demand shoots up to $400 million per same time frame every month, 200 to 400 million. That 100% increment in demand for forex is a strain. For example, if the Federal Reserves of the United States at the same time increases Fed rates about 3 or 4 times, calling for repatriation, not directly, of course, indirectly, investors will look for where they will make the most interest on their investment. Investors repatriate to go and invest in advanced economies. When you look at all these things and so many other factors, prices of goods and services that people are importing into the country shoots up. And so many other factors. Obviously, your demand outstrips your supply. It will affect your economy. But the question is, where are you immediately getting the dollars to augment your FX? I mean, your forex reserves. Then you were shut out of the international market. So we were compounded on so many challenges that came at the same time. These are facts.
Are you suggesting that the increase in demand of fuel products by 100% was as a result of COVID?
No, the Russian-Ukraine war. Yeah, the Russian-Ukraine war.
That is what led to the increase in from 400 million to 400 million.
Yes, because petrol prices, go and check that time frame. Petrol prices increased. Crude prices on the world market increased. Go and check. Go and check the values at that time. If my memory serves me, I think it went to almost $133 or so per barrel. That's a fact.
That was for a brief period.
What was the brief period?
It was a brief period.
What was the brief period?
Less than 3 months.
No. We can check the data.
In any case, Kofi, as we speak today, are we blaming Russia, Ukraine for where fuel prices are today?
No, I'm saying that.
Or the performance of the currency today?
No, I'm saying that. You had challenges that came all at the same time. That limited your ability to resolve your currency issues. You came out of it. There were signs. Of course, last year, the dollar came to almost 10 or so, if I recall. Of the $1 dollar to a cedi came to about 10.
Then what happened?
Then this year, we saw the sudden increment again. I think around February or so, we started seeing the depreciation.
Why?
Again. People have attributed it to so many reasons. People have attributed it to high demand of dollar, speculation, etc.
What is government attributing it to it? And what has government done about it?
Oh, but the government has done so.
Do you know why I'm asking you these questions? Because what you're saying, if it sounds like I'm listening to, I'm hosting Good Morning Ghana 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 18 years ago, 10 years ago. It's the same reasons that are given for why the currency is behaving the way it's behaving. It looks like we're having the same discussion. Nothing has changed.
Well, generally, I can attest to that, because the fundamental things that we have to really do, we haven't been able to do it the way we want to do it. That's the fact. We haven't been able to shift away from being 80% demand dependent on the foreign market to, let's say, 40% or 30%. We haven't been able to do it. So unless and until we are able to make those drastic changes, yes, these things will continue to appear.
But you understand that your government has, over the period, continued to point to a trade surplus instead of a trade deficit.
Okay.
Which presupposes that...
for a particular year.
So I'm saying, yes, I'm saying that. Even recently.
Yeah, just about last year.
Yes, even recently. Which presupposes, on the face of it, I have always said interrogate the figures. On the face of it, your export exceeds your input.
So even that, you have to disaggregate the issue and look at what is driving that surplus.
Thank you.
Mainly driven by commodities like gold, etc. Then there are laws on repatriation and then clawbacks. So for example, if you ship gold abroad, you have certain days to bring the money, about 80% of that money back. So when your surplus is driven by commodities, it's not the same as your surplus driven by industrialization. You get what I'm saying?
But
so,
those sectors are industrial. So
now I'm talking about, okay, let me
industrialization. I guess the issue is more about ownership.
Yeah, manufacturing and ownership of the gold.
Yeah, I'm saying ownership because it is when you have a higher stake that you can then
bring back. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. But as it stands, the large scales, they have that policy. Small scale, individuals own it mostly, and they do with it what they want to do with it. So I'm saying that, to your point, the surplus was driven by commodities and not necessarily manufacturing that is indirectly or directly bringing in so much forex. So my point is, we need to look at what the government came to meet, what the government has been able to do, the challenges that confronted us, and have we been able to do anything about the overall challenges? Yes. And I'm also admitting that when it comes to the dollar, we are yet to solve it the way we have to be able to solve it. But we are working on it. We are putting in place structures to make sure we can bring the dollar down. Right. No two ways about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my final question on this same issue before I go to Sammy, because it appears that is mixed up in the issue. In 2016, when then President Mahama was calling for a debate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said that President Mahama, should go and debate with the suffering Ghanaians. In fact, he was at a place up north, and he said that he should come and debate with the people in that community. He should go debate with those who are suffering. He actually mentioned things like unemployment, cedi depreciation, all those problems in the economy, that he should rather go and debate those issues and also go and answer the 170 questions that he posts and not come and ask for a debate. What has changed? Why is he asking for a debate now?
Well, the president, the former president, has made certain commentaries. He said certain things about the economy, etc. And that is why the vice president is saying that I'm ready to debate you on the economy. You've made this comment, that comment about the economy. I am ready to engage you directly on the economy. I don't see how...
Was that not the same situation in 2016? Because Dr. Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo were making comments about the economy, were pointing to what they believe were the incompetencies of then President Mahama. He asked for a debate.
From Bawumia or from Nana?
No, he asked for a debate from the president, yes. And Dr. Bawumia responded that he, President Mahama, should go, first of all, he should even come and debate the people in that community on their suffering. He should go and debate unemployment. He should go and debate cedi depreciation. He should go and debate that. He should go, he and his vice should go and answer his 170 questions that they've been unable to answer. He's not getting a debate. So what is it?
The vice president is debating the people, though, if per the context that you are making the argument in. Because the vice president is visiting the communities. He's speaking to the people.
President Mahama was doing same in 2016.
When was President Mahama doing same?
He was going around. He was also talking to the people. He was talking about why he should be re-elected. Dr. Bawumia says, you won't get a debate, you don't deserve a debate. Go and debate the plight of the people.
First of all, the vice president is debating and engaging people in the communities. The vice president,
people?
I mean, in the context that we are discussing, they're engaging people. I mean, we are using debate in context here. Because people are coming back and asking questions. The question is, the former president is making specific commentary about specific things. That you haven't been able to do this, you haven't been able to do that. And he's saying, I am willing to engage you on it. While I'm willing to engage you on it, the vice president said something. He said, I'm willing to engage you on it, but I'm not going to wait for you. I'm still going to do what I'm supposed to do by engaging the people. And he's doing that. So we haven't said that if Mahama doesn't debate, Mahama is this or that. No. He is saying that you are making commentary about me. I am willing to engage you. But if you are not willing to engage me, that's fine. I'm going to go down and do what I'm supposed to do.
All I wanted to understand, that's why I asked you the question. All I wanted to understand is that in 2016,
no, I get your point perfectly.
Yeah, I want to understand what is it.
You are trying to make a point of hypocrisy, more or less.
Yeah, I want to understand what is it that has changed for him. Because if you swap the shoes, he, Dr. Bawumia.
And what did Mahama say then?
About
when you say that
when he asked him to, he wouldn't debate him. I didn't hear him say anything.
Oh, how?
No, I didn't.
Mahama didn't say anything.
No, if you did tell me, I didn't hear him respond to that.
But Randy, let's come to our politics. Is it the first time one is calling for a debate and the other is saying no?
No, you don't get me. I'm just saying that there is a candidate who's called for a debate. That same candidate is on record. When interestingly, the one who's asking for a debate today was the president. And he was making a lot of allegations against him in terms of his running of the economy and government and everything. Now, the one then in charge asked for a debate to deal with the issues. He said that he will not. He decided to actually respond to him at a community and said that, look, he should rather come and debate the community. He should go and debate the problems that Ghanaians had at the time.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that today, from what you're saying, Mr. Mahama is also making accusations against the government and its economy and Dr. Bawumia and all that. Okay. Now, Dr. Bawumia is asking for a debate. I'm asking, what is it that has changed? What is it that has changed? Why will he in 2016 think that we will be better served if the president went to debate the plight of the people? But now he thinks that it will be better served if he debates him. That's what I want to understand.
I'm saying that he's not saying it will be better served if he debates him. He's saying that that is an option. But my other option is I'm going to do what I said then in 2016 by debating the people, by going to the people. That's what he's saying. He's not saying this is the only option and this is what you have to do. He's saying that you've made these incursions. I am willing to engage you. I am willing to discuss it if you want to do it. He actually said it, that if you are not willing to do it, that's fine. I am going to continue my work with dealing with the people. So that tells you that it's not the same as 2016. That's the point that I'm also trying to make to you.
All right, I get you. Sorry?
Doc, the persistent increments we have seen in the prices of fuel in recent time is a very, very sad phenomenon. And it is sad because of the unbearable hardships that is having on all of us. The impact of these persistent increments on cost of living, cost of doing business in the country is just unbearable. Yesterday on NDC 360, I was having a conversation with drivers. People who have been driving for 30 years, 35 years, 27 years, and so on. And when they shared their plight, the destruction of their businesses, their livelihoods, as a result of this persistent increments in fuel, I became very emotional on set.
Don't they say the same thing all the time?
Because it is painful. No, Doc. What is happening today has never happened in the history of this Fourth Republic. And I dare say maybe even in the history of Ghana. What is happening? Look.
Your prices went up to 18. No?
Look, it doesn't matter. You see, you can't, it's like I'm staying with you. You are starving me of food and water. Then later on, you decide to give me water and no food. And when I complain, you say, oh, but not too long ago, you were not having food and water. So if you're having water, you should be happy. You are not supposed to starve me in the first place. I'm supposed to have food and water. So you don't claim a reduction in hardships that you have inflicted as an achievement when the current level of hardship is still unbearable. Look, what is happening today has got nothing to do with COVID or Russia-Ukraine war. And people like Kofi Tonto, who speak for the government, must begin to change that narrative, because when they speak like that, they insult the intelligence.
I didn't say
they
that. They
insult the sensibilities of Ghanaians. You said exactly that, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you.
Okay.
What is happening only highlights the dishonesty, the insensitivity, and the cluelessness of the Bawumia-led economic management team. Simplicity. That is what is happening.
Demonstrate that.
Look, Doc, first of all, let's go back to what the MPP, especially Alhaji Bawumia, said in opposition about fuel prices. That should be the starting point for me, because you see, leaders are elected on the basis of the promises and the things they say when they are campaigning for power. And when they are elected, what they say on the basis of which they got elected must mean something. In my view, that forms, or that becomes a social contract between them and the people, and they must live up to that. Else, what it means, if they do the opposite, they do the contrary, it means that they cannot be trusted. It means they are dishonest. I have shared a video with your producer, and she can play it at any time, subject to your convenience.
A video about what?
A video of what Bawumia said in opposition at a time fuel prices went up by 9%. 9%. That was immediately before the 2016 elections. And Bawumia was so appalled and disgusted that 9% increment meant that John Mahama was totally clueless, incompetent, and the word he used was that he was uncaring. And that he actually said, how wicked can Mahama be that at a time we are suffering, he will increase fuel prices by 9%.
Who will increase fuel prices?
John Mahama will increase fuel prices. He didn't talk about exchange rate or the factors that contribute to fuel prices. He didn't even talk about any exogenous factors, not even the international market price. But Bawumia said the government had increased fuel prices by 9%, and that meant that John Mahama was uncaring, he was insensitive. He just bastardized the man. 9% increase. Now, Doc, at the time he was speaking, the price of a gallon of diesel and petrol was hovering around 14 cedis. When it even went up in December, it went up to 3 cedis 59 pesos per liter, which translated into 16 cedis per gallon. That was when it even went very high in December. But for the greater part of 2016, when Bawumia was castigating Mahama, it was 14 cedis. Today, that letter which was going for 3 cedis 59 pesos at its peak under Mahama, that they called him names, insulted him, branded him as wicked, insensitive, uncaring, today is going for 15 cedis 1 pesos, and for diesel 15 cedis 25 pesos. That represents an increase of 320% in the price of petrol per liter, and an increment of 329% in the price of diesel per liter.
But you're being disingenuous. You're looking at an increment over a 7.5-year period.
Yes.
Yes, the 9% was not over a 7.5-year
No,
period.
I'm not comparing the 9% to the 320.
Yeah.
Yes. If you want to look at the increase in fuel prices over the 8 years that we were in office, it was 5 cedis at Nakufo. We ended it around 16 cedis. You understand? If you do the maths, 5 cedis to 10 is 100%. 10 to 15 is what will give you 200%, right? So we were below 200%. That is the point I'm trying to make, or just about 200%. If you want to do an 8-year comparison,
You are being disingenuous again.
Why?
Why don't you do 5 to 15? 5 to 15 will give you 300%.
No, 5 to 10. I was explaining. No, it's not 300%.
Don't do 5 to 10.
No,
because if you do that, your 300 and something percent will also suffer the same fate.
5. Look, let's do. This is my calculator. It's simple. 5 divided by 15 times 100.
Yeah, that's 300%. 300 and what?
No, that is not 300%.
Okay, what did you get?
I'm telling you that 5 an increase of 5 cedis to 15 cedis is not 300%.
No,
it is not.
It's threefold.
But no, you see, it is not threefold. It is twofold. Because from 5, listen, from 5. Hold on, from 5.
15 divided by 5 is what?
It is not. The percentages don't work like that. No.
Oh,
no. Listen.
Okay, let's make your
from
point.
5.
Just make your point.
Hold on, from 5 to 10 is one fold, and from 10 to 15 is twofold.
That's another way of looking at it.
That is what it is. So I'm saying that if you want to do even the 8 years comparison, if Males Mahama took the price from 5 cedis and ended it around 14 cedis or even 16 cedis, it is far, far better, far lower than Akufo-Addo and Bawumia picking it from, let's say, even 16 cedis and bringing it to 68 cedis for petrol and 69 cedis for diesel.
Yeah,
That is per gallon. Do the math.
Yeah,
16 all the way to 68 cedis for petrol and 69 cedis per gallon for diesel. You can't even compare even the percentages over and comparing 8 years to 7.5 years. They have done far worse. So the question is, why did they do that to President Mahama? Why did Bawumia say all those things? And today Tonto doesn't have the decency and the humility to apologize for that. He's here saying that, Bawumia is still having economic management team meetings. And so what? Are we interested in mere meetings? What did he promise us that he'll be having meetings? Or he promised that strong economic fundamentals? He promised us a stable city. He promised us a relatively lower rate of depreciation. He promised us lower prices for fuel. That is what you promise. So whether you are having 1,001 meetings and collecting per diems and huge allowances for that, we don't care. What we care about is the price at which we are buying diesel and petrol to fill our cars today. And maybe you are in government. I see that you've even been promoted, so maybe you have access to fuel coupons. So you are not. Oh, these days he's always with Bawumia. You understand? I'm sure he's one of the closest aides to Bawumia.
Is it a campaign? It's not government.
Oh yes, and they don't buy fuel. They are enjoying from fuel coupons from government. We know. So that is why. That is why you can't. Hold on.
No, this is a direct accusation against you.
You don't get fuel coupons.
No.
Thank you. I take it back. Yeah. I just suspect that you may be one of those.
Please don't suspect.
No problem.
I'm sitting here.
But you see, Doc, the point is that this is clear testament to the fact that Bawumia is dishonest. Bawumia has failed. Bawumia has been completely clueless and useless about the management of fuel prices and the factors that contribute to say. Look, what is accounting for these increments? Doc, you rightly said, number one, the main thing is the exchange rate. Because the fuel we consume in this country is an imported commodity. And it is imported with US dollars. So the higher the dollar rate, the higher fuel prices will be. This is a no-brainer. Everybody knows that. And so the fact that Bawumia has failed to live up to his promise to stabilize the city. And we all recall what he said in opposition about how the fundamentals were weak at the time and how the fundamentals were exposing us. The dollar was exposing the weak fundamentals. The lectures he delivered, projecting himself as the paragon of all wisdom, the answer to our economic woes. In fact, the single task that President Akufo-Addo in opposition said he was entrusting into the hands of Bawumia was what? The management of the city. That was when he stood in his car in one market in Accra here and said, "Sidi na ya hata." And untina makofa bemueyi Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and now Yejuma Bank of Ghana. All that talk was a sham. Because today, $1 which was selling at 4 cedis 20 pesos under John Mahama is going for 15 cedis, 70 pesos. And Doc, this is the bank rate. If you go to the forest bureaus, you're going to get it at almost 16 cedis. Doc, what does that mean? What that means is that the BDC, who needed, say, 10,000, who needed 42,000 cedis in December 2016 to buy $10,000 for the purpose of importing crude into this country. Today, if that BDC, that importer, that businessman or businesswoman needs the same 10,000 US dollars, not 1 cent more, the same 10,000 US dollars, whereas he needed only 42,000 cedis under Mahama to get it, today he needs 157,000 cedis to get that $10,000. And I'm using the bank rate. 157,000 cedis. Doc, what is the nominal depreciated value? 115,000 cedis. 115,000 cedis more to be able to get $10,000. Under John Mahama, that businessman, if he had 100,000 cedis in his bank account, he could purchase $23,809 at a rate of 4.2. 100,000 cedis could get him 23,809 United States dollars. Look, today, if that businessman kept that 100,000 cedis in his bank account, that 100,000 cedis is worth and can only get him $6,369. From 23,809 to 6,369. He has lost over 17,000 US dollars because of the mismanagement of the Bawumia-led economic management team, which has led to this free fall of the city. And Doc, the reason for this alarming rate of depreciation is not because of COVID. And Kofi, don't say it anywhere again. I know that is what they tell you when you go for communication team meetings. Now, when you come and Dr. Abe asks you questions about the free fall of the city, blame it on COVID. Don't say it anywhere again, because you know me. I really like you. It is not true. It's not true. When you do that, you will embarrass yourself. Sorry. Because the year that the city became very strong was when COVID was at its peak. Maybe you didn't know. Go and check your facts. Right. The year that the city depreciated the lowest was 2020. You want evidence? Let me give you evidence. For everybody watching, Google this story. Cedi to depreciate slowly in 2021 to lose 3.1% value. Fetch Solutions. So this story is dated 24th November 2020. Look, are you listening? 24th November 2020. So Fitch was predicting in 2020 that the cedi will depreciate very slowly in 2021 at a rate of 3.1%. But that is not even my focus, because they will say this was just a prediction. In the body of the story gives you the rate of depreciation from 2017 till 2020. In fact, from 2016 to 2020. So let me go to that relevant portion and read that to you, so that Kofi will not repeat this lie anywhere. Historical performance of the cedi to dollar. 2015 was 18.7%. 2016, when we were leaving office, 9.6%. 2016. That was when they were castigating us. So they come in 2017, and because of the additional oil inflows, because 10 Sankofa had come on stream, thanks to the investments of Mahama, and we were at the capital market then, they went for the Templeton bonds.
You also hit oil in 2011.
11, yes, but I'm not talking about oil. I'm talking about the factors that led to a huge influx of forex into the country. So 2017 depreciation was 4.9%. 2018, was there COVID? Doc, was there COVID in 2018? Was there COVID in 2018? Help me. There was no COVID. COVID was recorded in March 2020. 2018 depreciation, 8.4%. 2019, was there COVID? No COVID. Depreciation, 12.9. Note that 2016 was 9.6. So even before COVID, in 2019, 12.9, almost 13%.
So that's why
they set up that
yes,
Forex committee,
40
member, which ended up doing nothing. And they were not even kind enough to add the vice president because they clearly don't have confidence in him. Aside the rhetorics and
it was a committee. It was a committee outside. No, it was out. No member of government was on the committee.
No problem. Let's go on. No problem. Let's go on. So 2018, 8.4. 2019, 12.9. Now 2020. Let me read the relevant part of the story. This is a quotation from Fitch. The CD performance, and this story is 24th November 2020. The CD performance is still generally strong, and I would say very impressive year to date. It's done just about 3.1% against the US dollar. So as at November 24th, 2020, COVID year, the CD had depreciated by 3.1%. Far lower. That is why we were telling them, you recall that we told them that the reason why the CD was doing well was because of COVID. Because COVID has shut down the trade systems.
There was not much
economic activity had reduced imports and therefore had reduced pressure on the cedi. This one too you don't know. And you come and sit here saying that the reason why the exchange rate is not doing well was because of COVID. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Even in 2021, the depreciation was again relatively low. The problem with the cedi set in 2022, when COVID has subsided and economic activity was booming again, and there was now pressure on the currency. People were importing, and there was no dollars in the system. There was a shortage of dollars. Why was there a shortage of dollars? Because of the capital flight. Our public debt to GDP ratio had hit 104% in 2024. In 2022, investors had lost confidence in the economy. It was clear that we were going to default on our debt obligations. So investors started taking their monies away. And that was the year we were locked out of the capital markets because of our debt unsustainability. And because of the fact that investors were taking their dollars away, and they could no longer go to the Eurobond markets to borrow averagely $3 billion, there was no dollars for the BDCs and importers. That was what led to about 54% depreciation from January to about October that year. No, sir, we are not kids here. We don't have short memories. This is Good Morning Ghana. When you come and sit here, be honest. Doc, it's got nothing to do with COVID. So if today it is the same problem. The problem is that we don't have dollars. The IMF money is not enough even for the BDCs. You need dollars for the BDCs, you need dollars for all those who need forest.
Yesterday I read a story where it says that in Q2 or so, or Q3, I've forgotten, the Bank of Ghana auctioned under $200 million.
Yeah.
So the first thing that came to my mind was, that should be a drop in the ocean.
Drop in the ocean. They just don't have the dollars. You understand? They just don't have the dollars in the system. And they don't have the dollars because Bawumia has been very, very reckless in the management of the economy. That is what has destroyed investor confidence.
What did they do?
By supervising the reckless and excessive borrowings that we cautioned them against, which today has made us debt insolvent, and which today has destroyed investor confidence. Today you can't go to the capital market to borrow. You can't get any Eurobonds. When they came, in a short period of time, in 5 years, they borrowed $13 billion on the Eurobond market alone. $13 billion. Today you can't go there again. You spend that money on consumption.
Yeah, but for the period that the capital market was shut, at least in 2020, 21, 22, or 22, 23, what the central bank gave to government was more than the $3 billion.
The $3 billion?
Yes, that we were shut, what we would expect to take from the capital market.
Even when we're in crisis.
Yeah, right? I'm saying.
No, but they will give them that in cedis.
Yes.
So that will not be a cure for the shortage of the dollars, which is leading to the free fall of the cedi. So please, don't talk about COVID again when it is about the exchange rate. It's got nothing to do with that. It's a function of economic mismanagement. No, you had ample time. Let me have my time. Now, Doc, again, the second factor is about the insensitivity, the sheer wickedness of the Bawumia-led economic management team. By heaping many taxes on the price build-up of fuel, and by increasing the existing levies and margins and taxes on fuel astronomically. Doc, I have no problem if you decide to increase taxes on fuel, say by 10% or by 20%. But if you increase taxes by 477%, I have a problem. If you increase taxes on fuel by over 200%, I have a problem. Especially in this time of suffering. And I'll be very happy if you allow for the video I shared with your producer to be played at some point. Look, Doc, let me tell you the taxes Bawumia has hit on fuel, for which reason we are suffering. Because but for those taxes, fuel prices would have been relatively lower, despite the free fall of the cedi. Number one, after all the things they said about ESLA, branding Mahama as wicked and promising to scrap ESLA. The ESLA that Mahama planned that Ghanaians should pay for only 5 years. Today we are paying over a period of 15 years because they have collateralized it for 10 years, another 10 years for a loan that they have misused. They didn't use it on the purpose for which ESLA was established. We all know that. We've seen the PIAC report and how they use some for payments other than clearing legacy debts in the energy sector. Aside doing that to ESLA, they have introduced a new levy called Energy Sector Recovery Levy of 20 pesos per litre of diesel and petrol. Another 18 pesos, the same Energy Sector Recovery Levy per kilogram of LPG. Then a sanitation and pollution levy, senseless tax, people call it baller tax, of 10 pesos per litre of diesel and petrol. Then the existing ones they came to meet, road fund levy. In 2016 it was 40 pesos, today it is 48 pesos. The increase is 20%. That is something that we can pardon them for. But check primary distribution margin. It was 4 cedis 50 pesos. It was 4.5 pesos. Today it is 26 pesos. The increase is 477%. Boss margin was 3 pesos. Today, the boss margin is 9 pesos. An increase of 200%. Then the fuel market margin was 9 pesos. Was 1.5 pesos. Today, it is 9 pesos. An increase of 500%. The UPPF was 9 pesos per litre. Today it is 90 pesos. Look, an increase of 900%. Energy debt recovery levy, 41 pesos, now increased to 49 pesos per litre, an increase of 19.5%. Price stabilization levy, per litre of petrol was 14 pesos, per litre of diesel was 16 pesos. Today, the one on petrol has been increased by 33% and the one on diesel by 40%. So the new levies and taxes on fuel, coupled with these astronomical increments, is what is partly contributing to the unbearable cost. Why do we pay price stabilization levy, Doc? It is to give government the funds to cushion the consumer when prices on the international market go up, or when the factors of demand and supply or the exchange rate pushes the price up. Government is supposed to use the price and stabilization levy we pay to cushion us. For many years now, they've been collecting this levy from us. So far, they've collected over 2 billion cedis of that. Yet they are failing to use it to cushion us. That is why I say that what is happening only highlights not only their dishonesty, but their insensitivity. And Doc, look, you just have to look at the way transport fares are going up. You read it in the newspapers that the Concerned Drivers Association have indicated that effective Monday, transportation fares are going up by 15%. But already, look at transport fares. And I got this from the drivers yesterday. OA Transport, which is one of the main buses that moves from Accra to the towns in the country. In 2016, when you picked OA bus from Accra to Boko, you were charged 95 cedis. Today, Doc, you have to pay 360 cedis. From 95 to 360 cedis. That is 265 cedis more, a percentage increase of 279%. From Accra to Boga and Paga, it used to be 80 cedis. Today it is 340 cedis, a percentage increase of 325% in the fare. Accra to Wa used to be 65 cedis. Today it is 265 cedis, an increase of 408%. Accra to Tamale was 70 cedis. Today it is 300 cedis, an increase of 329%. Accra to Sunyane, where I was brought up, used to be 35 cedis. Today it is 170 cedis, OA bars, an increase of 386%. Accra to Isoko, Mosquito's hometown, used to be 50 cedis. Today it is going for 200 Ghana cedis, an increase of 300%. Accra to Brekum used to be 40 cedis. Today it is going for 170 Ghana cedis, an increase of 325. Accra to Seshi Dadiaso used to be 45 cedis under Mahama. Today 205 cedis. I can go on and on and on. This is the cause of the hardships for those watching. This is why you are suffering. Because Bawumia has been totally reckless in the management of the economy, such that today our cedi is the third worst performing currency in Africa. COVID affected all the 54 countries in Africa. Why is the cedi the third worst? Not too long ago, it was even the worst performing currency. It is because others were responsible in their management of COVID. Bawumia and the NPP were reckless. They saw COVID as an avenue to steal. And that is why their own regional vice chairperson for Northern Region, Felicia Tete, former PC for Sagnerigu for the NPP, says COVID monies were distributed to them and that he had 2 billion OCDs COVID funds. That is why the Auditor General says that they paid about 14 million cedis to a company called Modern Security Printers to do education on COVID-19 protocols in SHS. But no work was done, yet the monies have been paid. That is why the Auditor General says they paid 37 million cedis for free water with no water bills to validate same. They paid about 15 million cedis on hot meals. In some cases, there were no receipts, no ANA certificates. They just chopped the money. 277,000 cedis was used to procure medical equipment. The equipment got diverted. This is the Auditor General, not Sami Jenfi. You chopped the money. You threw the deficits off GIA. That was when we started recording double-digit deficit, 2020, 15.6. Because they saw COVID as an avenue to steal, to spend recklessly in the name of winning an election. And today, all of us, innocent Ghanaians, the trotro driver, the market woman, the businessmen and women, the importers, they are having to pay for your recklessness. And you don't even have the decency to apologize for that. Finally, on this gold for oil one. Again, this also shows two things. Number one, the dishonesty of Bawumia. I always tell you that Bawumia is nothing but a braggadocious talkative. Very, very good in economic rhetorics, very empty when it comes to real action. Because he told us that he now has found a solution to the issue of the depreciation of the currency and high fuel prices. Announced good for oil, said he was going to bring prices down and he was going to save the country $4.5 billion. I have the video. I can share it with you for your producer to play. How come that after fuel prices came down, you see, when the international market price was going down, they took credit for it. They said it was good for oil. Now that the cedi is depreciating and the price is going up, they are no longer talking about good for oil. They say that the IMF told them to slow down. It is not true. The IMF only asked for gold for oil to be reviewed. In what sense? In the sense that they didn't want the Bank of Ghana involved. They didn't want the Bank of Ghana, which has made losses to the tune of 60 billion Ghana cedis for 2022 and another 10 billion for 2023, to be printing money for you to go and buy gold. So if you could find your money to buy your gold, the IMF didn't care. But they wanted to limit monetary financing. And they said, Bank of Ghana, get out. Let them do their thing. So they are still doing gold for oil today. And Boss is making losses. Because the gold for oil thing is not intended to bring prices down. It is only intended to finance Bawumia's campaign. You see, the NPP people, Bawumia, is very crafty. He creates a mess and he devised a scheme to profit from the mess. That is what gold for oil is about. Doc, they tell you that we don't have dollars for BDCs to go and import oil. Fuel, we don't have. They need about $400 million a month. We don't have. But there is gold in Ghana. So we will take cedis from Bank of Ghana and go and buy gold from miners, including galamseyers. So we buy the gold in cedis. We don't have dollars. We buy the gold in cedis. And then we will take the gold abroad and go and sell it. Initially, they even lied that they were going to use the gold for a butter for oil. And it was pointed out clearly to them that those big oil companies will not accept that. So later on, they came back and said, no, we can't use gold as butter for the oil. So we will sell the gold, get dollars, okay, and use the oil, the dollars for oil procurement. Why is it that when they get the dollars, they don't bring the dollars into the country and give the dollars to the BDCs to import the fuel? Why don't they do that? They get the dollars and they give the dollars to Bost. So they have not taken over the work of the BDCs and they bring in all the oil. And they force the BDCs to go and buy from Bost. Let me show you where they are stealing the money, Doc. And I'm sure you know. You have friends in the industry, you can ask. When they take our monies from the Bank of Ghana and they are going to buy the gold from the miners, nobody knows the price at which they buy the gold.
If you want to know, you know.
Oh, Doc, we know what is happening. They go, they use the muzzle of the states,
you can
negotiate for lower prices
you
than the international price, and they put.
You can ask
you know what they tell you? They will tell you the official price.
Your 137
they will tell you the official price, which is captured.
To come and answer.
They will tell you the official price. The Inchobo no, it will not be in the.
That's
RTI
just an allegation. It's not supported by anything.
I am telling you, we are friends in the industry. So they go, if they are getting ounce for $500, they put this on it.
So I mean, to the extent that we can authenticate that, let's
okay, no problem. So they are making money. Doc, you know more on this matter than even me, and I know your views on this matter. So I know you have to do your work. I'm just swapping. maybe we should swap our chairs, and let me be the one asking you about good for oil, and let's see if you will be saying the same thing you're saying. But Doc, they are making money from the purchases of the gold because they've never told us how much they buy the gold. Then when they go and sell, they don't tell us how much they sell it either. Then when they are going to buy the oil, they go and negotiate and put their margins on it because now they are trading oil more than any BDC in Ghana.
Yeah, but we're told that the margins are shared by a formula. So NPA gets some, Boss
that
gets
is what
some,
the margins
Bank of Ghana
paper.
gets some. Is it PMMC? Whichever the company that buys the gold from the
Mace and all of them.
So they all get a percentage.
Why check? Call Provincial, the boss MD. You should bring his books. Let's look at the current figures. You will see that Boss is making a lot of losses today because of this good for oil thing. It was just Bawumia creating a scheme, to milk money. Okay. And it was not intended at all. Either than that, okay, why are the prices going up?
All right. Okay.
Where is good for oil? So Doc, listen. The least people like Kofi Tonto can do is to show that they respect the people of this country. Acknowledge the truth. Stop lying. And don't tell us that I agree that we are still working on fixing the structure of the economy. We have not done well with the management of this. Oh, it means that you acknowledge that you have failed because your government promised to transform this economy from a gorgeous big economy to a value addition economy. You promised to transform this economy in 18 months. So if you are in your 8th year and you are talking about meetings and discussions and efforts aimed at fixing this mess, it shows that you have no business even contesting the 2024 election.
Okay, so what we'll do is that we'll take a break one right time.
But Randy, before you take a break, please, can you read on what's on the screen under Ghana's economy?
Russia-Ukraine war limited our ability to stabilize currency. Kofi Tonto.
All right. So when we come back, I just want that for the record. Russia-Ukraine war limited our abilities to stabilize the currency. So when we come back, then I can reference it. But clearly, Sami didn't hear anything that I said.
Oh, don't worry.
So when we come back, even the production...
Get me your video. You blamed it on COVID. So you didn't blame the... So you didn't say that the city got doing wrong because of COVID.
The production didn't hear about
We'll resolve this issue. Don't worry.
I will let them carry you right now. I will let them carry you right now.
Again?
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry. Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Papa didn't tell me anything. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. And I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Rise and shine. It's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Fortune's Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune's Friday,
It's still on point.
for your bread,
It's creamy.
for your toast.
It's still on point.
It's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune's bread, it's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me Gidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Yes, Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasan.
Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Papa is walking home.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son of Wibia. Nanso, Yare, Simisapa, a dumpemu yari.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg, with reddish color around it and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hand-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and swap tickets as a group, individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
By the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Kofi Tonto and Sammy Jemfi. But Betway likes me to inform you that Ayesoko, that Kosombo Dan be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control of every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide, and you can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190-0055001-000. All right, so Kofi, before we get on, there are a couple of messages I want to read. This one is for you. Okay. Do you know the lawyer, Emi Fahakaso, the lawyer? Oh, okay. She says I should tell you that when the fundamentals are weak, you should. She wants you to continue the sentence. When the fundamentals are
exchange
weak.
rate will expose you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
but that was a fact then. It's a fact now.
Okay. Now, these ones are on the issue of the percentage that we went on about. Sammy, the issue of the percentage.
Yes.
So, this is from Sadiq Koli in the UK. It says, kindly commend Sammy. He just did a percentile calculation method used in advanced engineering maths and statistics. Percentile calculator is a simple tool which calculates the kth. So kth percentile of a set of numbers, where k is an integer between 1 and 100. He made it simple. Then I have this. This is from a finance person, an accountant that I know, Mr. G.F. Mensah. It says from 5 to 15, the percentage increase is 15 minus 5 divided by 5. And it says that is then 10 divided by 5 times 100. So it says it's 200%, not 300%. That's from Mr. G.F. Mensah. Then Newton, Ofeabeku Justice. Okay, it says mathematically, Sammy is right. It says 200% of 5 is 15. That's him. And then I think there was one more that said I should stop confusing my my viewers, and that it is 200% and not 300%. Dr. Kingsley Nyaku says what has changed is that both candidates will be on the ballot, reason they have to debate. That is Dr. Kingsley Nyaku, who's asking for the regulation of the use of honorary doctorate titles. Okay, that's in the newspapers today. Yes, Tonto.
Yeah, see, Andy, I want to quickly address a few things, then I'll come to the substantive issue. Sami attributes taxes and levies to Baumia's decisions, etc. Sami, you know this. It's not Baumia who sends tax bills to Parliament. It's not the Vice President who does that. You know, so please, Baumia is part of cabinet, just as the finance minister, just as other ministers who may even propose the bill. So please, Baumia is not the one who sends tax bills to Parliament. You know, so that's, in any case, when it comes to taxes, President Mahama even told us to sit in trotro if we think the taxes on petroleum are too high. He told us that. Quite disrespectful. That sit in trotro. You know, those who own cars can go and sit in trotro. He said that. And then Sami said Vice President is clueless and useless. You see, Randy.
In managing the economy. I heard him say that.
It doesn't matter.
No, he said that. He said in managing the economy.
You see,
if you take that out, it means a completely different thing.
You see, Randy, I can sit here and make certain comments about His Excellency, the former Vice President, but I won't. I can criticize John Mahama without using the word useless. I don't have to. Because the argument Sami made, if I go back and make the same argument, Sami's argument, the premise of it was, petrol was this, and petrol is now this value. We can go back to President Kufuor. Petrol was a certain value, and under your government, it came to another value. We can look at the dollar. It was 1 to 1 or 1 to 1.2, and then under your government, you said it 4.3. Does that make President Mahama clueless and useless in economic management?
But that's how he was described.
Who described who as useless and all of that? My point is that we can criticize. As young people doing politics, let's find decent ways of criticizing our leaders. Sami is fond of always using words like useless, empty, etc. I don't think it's necessary. You said a lot of things about President Kufuor. You talk about the things we said about Mahama. What about the things you said about President Kufuor? You called him a tie. So don't create the impression that we have all of a sudden forgotten the things you also said about President Kufuor. To create the impression that somebody was attacking President Mahama. President Mahama was part of the people who attacked President Kufuor. So what are you talking about? Now, Sami, let's go to the substantive issue. Randy, I made a relative comment that what we came to meet, what we did pre-COVID, and then what happened post-COVID. I said that. And then I said that COVID definitely impacted the economy. But then when you asked me on the dollar, I gave you specific examples or causes of it. The first thing I said was the price moving from 200 million to 400 million. I'm sure you recall me saying that.
That's fuel products.
Yes. And then I said high exogenous cost of goods and services outside. If someone is going to import a phone, and a phone used to be $50 and it's now $100, it will make they will need more dollars to buy the same phone. I said that. Then I said speculations. Then I also gave you example of federal government increasing policy rates and causing investors to move money from emerging markets to advanced economies. I said that. And then I also said shut of the bond market. I said that. Those were the specifics that I gave you as the cause of the depreciation of the cedi. Please, am I lying?
Yeah.
Those were the specifics I said. I'm not saying that I didn't mention COVID as a general statement of the impacts we've had concerning the economy. I did. But then I was very quick in giving you the specifics when you asked me the cause of the cedi depreciation. I didn't say, in any case, I can even argue that COVID has a degree of impact on the dollar. I can make that argument, but because of time, I won't go there. But I was very specific. I said prices of petroleum products on the world market, high exogenous costs, speculations, Fed rate, and shut of capital bond market. Those were my specifics. So, Sammy, please, if you are listening to me, listen to me carefully. Yes, I did say COVID. Yes, I brought COVID in as part of the general argument that I was making. But because I wanted to be careful in what I was saying, I laid out specific causes. That's what I did. So if you want to debate the specific causes, if you want to say that they are not true, we can discuss it. I haven't sat here and said I didn't mention COVID. I haven't sat here and said COVID didn't have impact on the overall economy. But I was specific on the things that I said.
Right.
So please, let's be careful on those things. And then Sami spoke about PIAC report and how monies have been misapplied when you read the PIAC report by us. Sami, if you read the same PIAC report, it talks about how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's government misapplied petroleum funds. Specific things they were supposed to do with the money and doing contrary, for example, capacity building, etc. 100 million towards capacity building. So we can find so many instances of misapplication of funds in the PIAC report relating to John Dramani Mahama. So it's a debate for us as a nation that, okay, if Petroleum Management Fund indicates specific usage of our funds, are we using it prudently? I'm sure both governments across board have had some misapplication in one way or the other. But to create the impression that somehow one government is the one who's offended the law and misapplied funds, it's untrue. Because I have the PIAC report on my phone. I can look for it, about 200-page report when they did a report on our revenues from 2010 to 2020. It says it clearly. All the things you did. It talks about all of it. Then Samit talks about huge inflows. I won't even go there. He talks about energy levy, petroleum levy, all of that. Samit, governments have placed levies on petroleum products across board. Please, am I lying? Is that not the case?
Yes.
President Mahama did it, and that's why when people called on him that, please, we are going through hardships. Why are you putting taxes on petroleum products? That's when he said, go and sit in Trotro.
He said that?
Oh yeah, I have the story. Yeah, I can read the story to you. If you give me a second.
I hope it's not a headline.
No.
Okay.
Let him read.
President John Dramani Mahama has justified recent tax imposed on petroleum products. He says the measure, described by many as senseless and insensitive, especially because of world crude prices are at a 12-year low, was necessary, even better. The president was answering questions from journalists on a wide range of issues at the Flagstaff House on Tuesday, January 12, 2016. So he said that.
No, you have not shown me where he said that. Go and take Trotro.
Oh, okay. Let me read it to you.
You're opening a new story. I can see your phone from here.
No, I'm reading.
Why don't you read it from the story you were reading?
No. I'm because I took a screenshot of the first page of the story. So I'm opening the story so I can read his quote for you. The imposition of tax of
which story is
There
this?
was a headline in the portal.
Okay. Mahatma advises sit in Trotro and pay less taxes. Kasapa FM online. If you own a car, it means you can pay a bit more taxes. Modern Ghana. .com. Toughen up. Mahama says over fuel price increase. Ghana Web. These are the stories.
So these are the headlines.
Headlines.
So
Yeah.
which one are you reading that quote from it?
I'm reading from the Kasapa one.
Okay.
Yeah. It says the imposition of tax on petroleum products is hitting us who uses private vehicles. And so for most of us, if you are able to drive your own private vehicle to work and back, then that shows that you have an income that you can contribute a little bit more than the person who sits in Trotro. That's where he's saying that if you have a car...
No, you are now doing an interpretation. I'm
No,
saying
no,
that
no,
you
no,
said,
I'm looking
he said
for...
go and sit.
No,
so I
I'm
want to
looking
see
for
that,
the
yes.
actual article to
Yes,
read,
so I want to
because
see
I'm
that.
trying to speak and open the article at the same time.
Okay.
So if I'm done and Same is
Okay, so
then I can take
I'll give you
time
the
and give
opportunity.
you
No problem.
the
Sure.
specific.
Yeah,
I'm
no
trying to.
no problem. So
multitask
you
it.
go on.
It's not,
You can-
it's not a problem.
Yeah.
So
Can I
so
give
so
you
the,
go on? No, let him
the
finish.
point
He's
that I'm
not done.
making is this.
Okay.
Sami, your argument that things have gotten worse from point A to point C or point D, and that makes a president clueless and empty, it's a non-starter. Because that argument can apply to almost every president, from the exchange rate to the prices of petroleum or diesel or fuel. Almost every president, including President Mahama. Because he took it from one point and ended it at a higher point. Even if it's 200%. That's a huge increment. So you cannot use that as the basis to call somebody empty and useless.
So, Kofi, what would you say to the person who says that when that 200% increment occurred, this is what Dr. Bawumia said. This is how he described it. This is what he promised. And on the basis of what has happened today, it is worse than what he criticized, and it is worse than the better he promised.
And I have told you that I'm not disputing the fact that things are a bit tougher now. If you look at even the nominal figure from the value we came to meet it and the current value, I'm not disputing it. I am saying that all these things ought to be put in a proper context. What did we do before certain global challenges? What came about after the global challenges? What are we doing about
the fuel price buildup? That Bawumia, as vice president, is not responsible for the introduction of taxes. That is not true, because Doc, Bawumia is not the first person to serve this country as vice president and chair of the economic management team. The economic management team is a very important team in the management of the economy. And the vice president himself has told us the role of that economic management team, which is more important than what Kofi has to say. So Kofi, the man you are defending, this is what he has to say about his role as head of economic management team on his website, Bawumia 2024. This is what he says. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. He chairs the economic management team, which is broadly responsible for shaping government's policies and guiding their implementation. Shaping government's policies and guiding their implementation. Yes. Tax, in the introduction of taxes, is part of government policies. Bawumia says that as chairman of the economic management team, he shapes it. So all the taxes, the 20 pesos energy sector levy on fuel, the baller tax of 10%, the 477% in primary distribution margin, the 300% increase in boss margin, all the increases I spoke about, he is the one shaping those policies. This is not the gospel according to Sam Agency. It's the gospel according to Bawumia. And he says he doesn't only shape the policy, he guides the implementation of say. So, Massa, don't come and sit here and cry more than the bereaved. Don't come and sit here and throw dust into the eyes of people. In any case, let's go back to some of the taxes, the draconian taxes, obnoxious taxes that this government has introduced. And what higher ups in the ruling party and the government itself have said about Bawumia's rule in them. Look, number one, there's a story published by starfm.com Ghana on March 9, 2022. Anybody can Google it. The headline is this: Bawumia fully supports e-levy. John Boadu. John Boadu at the time, 2022, was the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, the Chief Executive Officer of the New Patriotic Party, who used to sit in cabinet meetings where all the decisions are taken. You don't like Bawumia than John Boadu. You don't like Bawumia than John Boadu. And in the scheme of things, when John Boadu is talking, Kofi turn to the Umamukra. Because you were not in cabinet. This is the man who sat in cabinet. And listen to what he said. Vice President Dr. Bawumia is in full support of the controversial e-levy, despite his palpable silence on conversations around it. General Secretary of the ruling party has said. According to John Boadu, the Vice President has not spoken about it because he is not expected to comment on everything. Quote, I can tell you for a fact that he is in full support of e-levy. He supports it fully, unquote, Mr. Boadu. If you want videos, we'll play videos to you. What are you talking about here? What do you take us for? Look, not that alone. Bawumia's own spokesperson. Unless you are saying you love Bawumia than Gideon Boako, Dr. Gideon Boako. This is what he had to say. Bawumia supports implementation of e-levy. Spokesperson, 8th April 2022. So please, we know that before economic policies will be introduced, they will go to the economic management team for discussion. And the economic management team will make its recommendations to cabinet. And Bawumia says he is the one who shapes the policy and guides their implementation. So you stop this attempt to extricate him from liability relative to the obnoxious taxes, the crippling taxes that your government, your insensitive government, has introduced. Number two, and you see, assuming without admitting that Bawumia was not even part, it is still MPP. And Bawumia is contesting on the ticket of MPP. So that excuse is a non-starter. Don't even go there. Number two, Doc, he says that I am using indecent language by saying that Bawumia has been totally reckless and useless in the management of the economy. Okay, so very important, Doc. What is the meaning of useless? What is the meaning of useless?
We all know.
I was asking Google that. Let me just Google it again.
But we all know.
This is the meaning of useless. OBNTO. Not fulfilling or not expected to achieve the intended purpose or desired outcome. What is insulting about this? So if I say that in your management of the economy, you are not fulfilling what we expect from you, you have not done what you promised to do and what was expected of you based on all the things you said in opposition, you have not put to use the unprecedented opportunities, resources you've had. Because this government is the most resource government in the history of Ghana. They've had close to 1 trillion new Ghana cedis in total revenue. When Mills Mahama in 8 years had access to only 271 billion. They've had about 4 times more what John Mahama and Atta Mills had. And yet they have managed to plunge this country into bankruptcy. And so if I say he's been useless and reckless in the management of the economy, that is the meaning. You didn't invent English language. MPP for Nyamanamutre dictionary. This is the meaning. And there is nothing insulting about it. Doc, not fulfilling or not expected to achieve the intended purpose or desired outcome. That is it. Now let's go to incompetence. John Mahama, Bawumia's favorite tag for Mahama, the incompetent one. He didn't even use it as an adjective. He coined it into a name that Mahama was the incompetent one. What's the meaning? Not having or showing the necessary skills to do something successfully. What's the difference between this and being useless in the management of an economy? They say. So please, don't even go there. In any case, he says, I said Bawumia has been empty. Didn't you hear Bawumia? When you are following Bawumia around the country, you don't listen to what he says. Not too long ago, he says Mahama is an empty barrel. That is the word Bawumia used. The video is available. You've come to sit here hypocritically taking issues with me saying that Bawumia is empty. If he's not empty, what has he done about all the solutions he proffered on how to stabilize the city? You are here saying that the reasons why the city is depreciating is because of speculation. I wrote it down. Doc, you heard him. Exogenous shocks. And if foreign countries improve their policy rates, that is what he said. Didn't Bawumia know those things?
I've said it.
Didn't Bawumia know those things in opposition when he was holding lectures talking about strong fundamentals and saying that Mahama was incompetent? You knew these things that Bawumia, who has a PhD in economics, eh? Why this hypocrisy? It's so nauseating. So you think that you are special human beings, you should be held to a different standard. When he was saying all those things about Mahama relative to the exchange rate, what happened to speculation? Exogenous shocks, policy rates of the United States of America. Stop the double speaking. Your running mate, who you're following all over the place and supporting, Napo, he is on video saying that NDC, Papa Pebia Mase Mahama. What can be more insulting than that? You are looking at me. NDC for the Papa Pebia Mase Mahama. It may Masema not me train. Who is more derogatory and insulting than Napo? Who even has the effrontery to refer to Nkrumah as you're Nkrumah, Mokwame Nkrumah no? And you people are defending him.
He has apologized.
He has apologized. Has he apologized for saying that NDC and Papa Pebiamba? Is that how an elder is supposed to speak?
Maybe you have not raised
you have
not raised an issue with it.
Can you imagine this? Can you imagine? And he's talking about what we said about Kofo. What about what you said about Rollins? That he was a murderer. Or your mame all the things you said about Rollins, you think we have forgotten? What about what Aswausu said about Mahama? That he's a thief, he's a criminal. What about all that? And nobody is even doing that. We don't believe in insults. Somebody said a lot of things in opposition about the management of the economy. Asked 170 questions. Perfect solutions. You guys said he had a magic wand to stabilize the economy. He has come into office for 8 years now. He's had more resources than any government in history. He has mismanaged the economy and plunged us into bankruptcy. Today we can't even service our debts. We are classified as a junk economy. And then we are asking the man for accountability. He say, I was a mere mate. So it means that the man himself has acknowledged that he has been useless in the scheme of things. Because he himself says, I was a mere mate. I didn't have the opportunity to take any decisions. So we are not insulting him like you hit raw insults. What Napo said about Mahama was raw insults. You say that NDC for any Papa Pebiamba. What have you said about that? So you have no moral authority to even lecture anybody on decent language. And in any case, I have used decent language. The truth may be inconveniencing and uncomfortable for you, but it doesn't change the fact that it is the truth. Then Doc, when he said, oh, COVID. Yes, I spoke about COVID, but I also specified the issues contributing to the depreciation of the city. So why did you reference COVID? You spoke about pre-COVID and you spoke about post-COVID. And that is why, Doc, you pointed out to him that it was in the pre-COVID era that the 40-member forest committee was even set up to. Why? Because you were trying to create an impression that the city was doing well pre-COVID and that our economic woes started post-COVID. That is why you brought in the point about the fact that even before COVID, the city was depreciating and you had to even set up that 40-member committee.
That's a fact.
And I have demonstrated to you that before COVID, the city was doing poorly even than after COVID.
Maybe as compared to post-COVID.
Yes.
No. You don't get what I'm saying. That maybe the performance of the city in this government, maybe the performance of the city pre-COVID and after COVID. The after COVID performance is worse than the pre-COVID performance. It is not to suggest that, it does not mean, let me not say suggest, it does not mean that the city didn't have problems.
No, but the point is that he says pre-COVID we're doing well. It was post-COVID that the problem started. And I'm saying that pre-COVID, were doing very badly because 2018 depreciation was 8.4%, 2019 was 12.9%, almost 13%.
So we're not doing well.
And even in COVID, that was when we chalked our best performance. So COVID can't be the reason. The reason why in 2022 we had those problems was not COVID. Either that all the other countries who were affected by COVID, to quote Bawumia, how did COVID jump Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina, Togo, only to crash the city? The reason was that others were responsible in managing COVID. They didn't spend recklessly. They got their deficits within acceptable limits. We were reckless. We overspent because of the elections and misappropriated COVID funds that we could have used for investments. And that is why when COVID subsided in 2022, the problems you created in 2020, which was a high deficit of 15.6%, and the excessive borrowing you engage in, be caught up with us. That's the point I'm making. So that analysis of pre-COVID, post-COVID doesn't come in. That's my point. Then Doc, he said that I won't talk about the huge COVID influence. Why did you jump that one? Why are you saying you won't talk about it?
No, you were talking.
When you were listening, I said that's why he said Sami Davis spoke about huge influence. I won't talk about it. Why won't you talk about
Sami,
oil influence? Have I spoken about oil influence here? Please. Nobody has spoken about oil influence.
When you were talking, and the time you spoke about PIAC, you said that
I'm not talking about the PIAC one.
Please.
Kofi, this is my time.
I wrote it here.
I'm not talking about the PIAC one. You see, the problem with Kofi Tonto is that when he's talking, he doesn't listen.
I heard you say huge influence.
Yes. And you said, but I won't talk about it.
No. I was.
And that was after you that were COVID issue.
I was referring to a comment Sami made around getting. He was discussing the CD, and then he said that at a point we got more oil influence.
I've accepted
that's what I was discussing. I wasn't talking about COVID influence.
In any case,
if you want to talk about COVID influence, you can talk about COVID influence.
In any case, why didn't you talk about COVID influence? That COVID gave you over $5 billion. When you talk about the problems COVID gave us, talk about the opportunities COVID gave you, which you squandered on the 2020 elections. $5 to $6 billion because of COVID. Unprecedented. This nation has not had even half of that amount to manage any crisis before in our history. You had over $5 billion.
From where?
And in addition to that, you have imposed a COVID levy on us. For 3 years, we are paying COVID levy. Which country in the world is charging its citizens COVID levy? So you get $2 billion from the IMF, over $1 billion from World Bank. The Bank of Ghana in 2020 alone printed 10 billion cedis for you. In 2022, 45 billion cedis for you. And so, you still charge us COVID levy on everything we buy, including the food we eat in the restaurants. And you are still blaming COVID. Don't you have any shame in 2024? So when will you stop blaming COVID? When will you stop blaming COVID? Then Doc, the story he read does not corroborate the allegation he made against Mahama. And if he has a modicum of decency in him, he will apologize to John Mahama. And I think this platform owes that to John Mahama. Because you sat here and said John Mahama insulted people who were complaining about a particular tax. I'm sure he was talking about ESLA.
Sorry, I asked him.
Yes.
Did John Mahama say that? He said yes. And I said, can you show us that? He said yes. I said, I hope it's not a headline. He says yes. Now, going through his phone, it appeared that he was multitasking because he was also speaking. So we all agreed that he can do so when he's done and you are speaking. He can look for the story and tell us.
Because I have the story.
So
I've opened the Kasapa story.
Hold on.
No problem. I've opened the Kasapa story. And what President Mahama was saying, no problem. But we'll wait for him to prove that point.
Maybe it is not that story. Kofi Tonto has
maybe he has another story.
He hasn't left the
so we'll wait for
He's
him.
Here.
Wait. Yes. But at least on the Kasapa one, I just want viewers to know that
you
the context. Hold on.
Leave that. Okay. The man is here.
No problem.
Yeah,
but I just wanted to clarify that.
No,
okay.
I say he's
no
here.
Problem.
No
problem. Doc. Then aside that, Doc, I will just conclude on this, Kofi, don't worry. He said that if I make the argument that from this time to this time, things has gotten worse. Listen to his argument. Then it applies to every government. And Kofi, why is it you people the paucity of the logic in the arguments you advance? So why is Bawumia all over the place saying that they have done better? Look, help me to understand that. When Bawumia, yes, you have to help me.
But Kofi Tonto,
but you are the most experienced person here.
But the man who said the things by you, why me?
But Obia says,
please,
we should vote
it's closer to you. Ask him.
But Obia says we should vote for them because they have done better. Better in relative to what?
Ask him. Why are you scared of him?
Better because you are saying that, according to them, the economic outcomes today is better than what it used to be. He even says that he has done better in all sectors. And Kofi says, I should not compare fuel prices. Now we want to know whether Bawumia is being truthful that they have done better.
What did I say?
So he says I should not compare the rate of increase because you pointed out that to me that I should not look at the 9% increase Bawumia was lamenting in isolation. Hold on. Use Kofi. Everything you are saying on this platform, when I confront you with it, you deny.
What did I say you shouldn't compare?
You said that if I make the argument that from one point to the other, say from 2016, fuel price was this, and it is this in 2024, so you have done worse, then that argument is a non-starter because it applies to everybody. And I am saying that on what basis is Bawumia then saying that you have done better? It is the same, it's on the same basis. I am only showing you that you have done worse. If Bawumia can say you have done better, and that is a good argument in your opinion, then an argument that says that you have done worse is also a good argument. I mean, this is simple logic. Doc, you said we were insensitive. Mahama was uncaring. Doc, I want to plead with you. Please, let your producer play that video.
I've played that video many times.
Oh, that one, the uncaring one. Thank you. But today, because of the conversation, maybe before we start.
But he has not said it's not true.
No, but the program is not just about him. It's about those who are watching.
Do you also
I'm not
want
speaking to him, I'm speaking to the
do you
audience.
also want me to send videos for the production to play?
Yes,
What are you talking about?
No, Sami, if there were an argument or a doubt, I will play it for clarification.
If you do that,
no,
then you are leaving the truth to only NDC.
No.
That's not the point. But I will leave that to you. But Doc,
it is not being contested, so there's no problem.
So Doc, the point is
I won't have to.
You said Mahama was uncaring, insensitive, incompetent, and all that relative to fuel prices. And yet, in 8 years, he and Professor Mills of blessed memory moved the price from 5 cedis to just about 16 cedis. And like the mathematicians have said, that is just about 200%. You have moved it after all the things you said against Mahama. You've moved it from that 16 cedis all the way to, and you know, yesterday the drivers were fighting me that I should not even say 16 cedis because at the time we were going for the election, it was 14 cedis. But I want to use the price of the commodity at the time we leave in office, right? So if you pick it from 16 cedis, today it is 68 cedis for petrol and 69 cedis for diesel. How is that better? That is the question. And you can't say that this argument is a non-starter. So, Doc, look, instead of engaging in these things, these flimsy excuses, the peddling of deliberate falsehood, accept that you have failed. Bawumia is a monumental failure. The entire ruling MPP is a monumental failure. You don't deserve to be in government again. Step aside for people who can manage the situation to do that. Don't come and tell us that we are turning things around. Turning things around in this your injury time. 4 months, in 7.5 years, you could not turn things around. Is it the 4 months remaining that you can use to turn things around?
Thank you. So we should be
wrapping up.
We should be ending. The show. But I want to give you the opportunity.
I'll read it. I have it here. It's not a problem.
Yes, I want
to.
No rebuttal again. No, read it.
What do you mean no rebuttal?
What
do you mean no rebuttal?
Because you started hold on, and I came in and you rebutted and I rebutted.
Kofi, if you
let me read.
Yes.
The modern Ghana story. If you own a car, it means you can pay a bit more taxes, Mahama. And then here is the relevant portion that I want to read. The only way you can raise money, really, is through the tax system. And this is quote, modern Ghana quoting President Mahama. It's through the tax system. And the only way you can get everybody to contribute is through indirect taxes. And indirect taxes include consumption of petroleum products and those who consume more. If you have a V8 and you can buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax.
And you buy
more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a trotro, you are paying less tax because 15 of you in the trotro using the same fuel. That's what he said.
Yes, but how does this
constitute an insult that for those who can't pay the tax
No. Sammy, you don't interpret things for me.
Okay, so interpret it.
If a government introduces...
What you said was that John Mahama said that if you should go and take, if you cannot pay the tax, go and take trotro. That's what he said.
Let me read. When he didn't read, let me continue. You see,
that's what he said.
All he was trying to say was that the SPT was...
But why is that?
Hold on. All he was trying to say, what he said was that the SPT did not lead to transport fares going up, but it led to fuel prices going up. So it was affecting owners of private vehicles more than passengers who use commercial transport.
But that's a fact.
So that is what he said. He said, in any case, for the vulnerable in society, transport fares have not gone up. For most of us, and these are direct quotations, for most of us, I mean, if you are able to drive your own private car alone to work and back, then you show that you have an income and that you can contribute a little more.
You don't get to
a little more than the
me.
person who sits in a trotro. This is a fact.
Sammy,
everybody knows that.
Randy.
Everybody knows that. This is the principle. If you are a student of economics, you know that this is the principle of progressive taxation. So where everybody pays tax according to his needs.
So Sammy, hold on.
So what are you talking about? The Mama insulted Ghanaians that if you can't buy food, go and pick trotro.
You're saying, Kofi, sorry. You're saying that what you read is the evidence that Mr. John Mahama insulted Ghanaians.
That for me, because let me explain it to you. Okay. If a government introduces tax and Ghanaians say that tax is insensitive, and the president says that if you sit in a trotro, then you can pay less of that tax.
Then you pay less.
You pay less. You pay less of that tax.
That's not what he said. What you read.
What you read. He said if you sit in
don't pay at all. He didn't say that transport fares are not going up.
You drew a comparison. What you read. He said he says that if you drive. If you could please read that.
If you sit in a trotro.
No, before the if you sit in a trotro, you read it.
I said if you have a V8 and you buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a trotro, you are paying less tax because 15 of you in the trotro using the same fuel.
Okay.
And I'm telling you that.
And you say you consider this insulting.
Yes.
Okay.
My point is this. Okay. If I am driving a car and I have my car, my expectation is to be able to buy the fuel and drive my car. That's my expectation. If Sami is driving his car, I will not go and tell Sami that put your car somewhere and go and sit in a trotro because I'm putting tax on it, and if you sit in trotro, you pay less. Sami has a right to own a car, whether V8 or whatever. He has a right to own that car. So for me, for a president to say that if you sit in a trotro, you pay less, what is he implying?
Today, can I ask you a question?
Please, don't ask me any question. Finish. You are not the host. Okay. So in my interpretation, I have a right to own whatever car I want to own. And I have a right to demand that my government put tax
So where is the insult?
I'm telling you that
do car owners today don't pay more taxes
than
those who use commercial transport?
It says that to the extent that he owns a car, he feels insulted.
So where is the insult?
He said he feels insulted.
Then he has a comprehension problem.
Why?
The problem is
he feels insulted.
Then he has a comprehension problem. He has done his part. We are closing. Let me read the entire story. Because there is nothing insulting about what President Mahama said.
He says he feels insulted.
Then there is a problem with his feeling.
No.
Hey. Then that is his problem.
You sit here and
there's a problem with your feelings.
No.
Look, and you don't bring your misconceived feelings on television. We are talking about facts and figures. Let me read the story. Doc, let me read the story. You didn't read the story. You read just one quotation. So, Doc, let me read the story.
I read the whole paragraph.
This is the story. President John Dramani Mahama justified recent taxes imposed on petroleum products. He says the measure described by many as senseless and insensitive, especially because world crude prices are at a 12-year low, was necessary, even if bitter. The president was answering questions from journalists on a wide range of issues
Balance,
at the Flagstaff House in Accra Thursday, January 12, 2016.
I want to get the point he wants to make.
Quote, utilities have accumulated debts over the last 15 to 20 years. And as a result of this accumulation of debt, it has choked the credit lines of the utility companies to an extent that VRA today cannot go to any bank and establish, because I think they owe virtually every bank in Ghana. As the line got choked here, they went and opened a new account in another bank, and then they would take the credit until it gets choked then they open a new account with another bank. He said, if we want a sustainable power sector, we have to deal with that debt. You must deal with that debt. And how are we going to deal with that debt? He asked, conceding quickly. I don't have that money. If I had, I would pay on behalf of VRA. He said government needed to find money to deal with the power generators' debt, even though it has been variously argued that the biggest debtor of the VRA and power distributor ECG is government itself. Quote, we need to take that money from somewhere. And so the point is, at a time when God has blessed us to have the price go down by 37%, we take a little money and say, look, let's all contribute and pay off this debt. Because we all use that power that VRA generated, unquote. I don't see what really we have done wrong, the president explained. He has said a portion of the energy levy is going to road fund, which will be distributed to road contractors, majority of whom are local companies, which would create jobs. The president expressed regret that 70% of the population does not know that they have to pay tax, and so the only way is to collect tax in indirect tax. Quote, the only way you can raise money really is through the tax system, and the only thing you can get everybody to contribute is through indirect taxes, and indirect taxes include consumption of petroleum products. And those who consume more, if you have a V8 and you buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a throttle, listen to the comparison. See, if you have a V8 and you buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a throttle, you are paying less tax, because 15 of you in the throttle are using the same fuel. Quote, in any case, for the vulnerable in society, transport fares have not gone up. For most of us, I mean, if you are able to drive your own private car alone to work and back, then you show that you have an income, and then you can contribute a little more than the person who sits in throttle. So it is only a problem. It is only a person who has a problem with his feelings or his comprehension who will say that this is insult. Credit our viewers with some intelligence. Look at how respectful the man was. Please let me. Look at how respectful. Look at the humility. Let me hear him. You wish Napo could talk like this. And Bawumia could talk like this. Let me hear him. You wish.
Yes. Mahama doesn't speak any better than His Excellency the Vice President. Don't even go there, because we have a litany of things he has said. That he's not a magician, he's not this. We can read all of that to you. If you take a statement and read it, and I read the same statement to you, that my interpretation is that a Ghanaian has a right to own a car. A Ghanaian has a right to own a car. And if the Ghanaian owns a car, he should be able to use his car. It's not. It doesn't lie in your mouth or anybody's mouth to say and go.
And who said he doesn't have a right to use his car?
And pay.
Anybody who owns a car knows that by virtue of the fact that you own a car, you will pay more taxes than the person who doesn't know a car. It is common sense. That is a fact.
Please let
me. The one who owns a car will buy more fuel than the one who doesn't own a car.
Let me talk.
This is a no-brainer. Why is the insult in that?
If it was common sense,
why is the insult in that?
If it was common sense, Ghanaians would have known it. They didn't need Mahama to tell them common sense.
Oh, look. So we don't talk about common sense. So all the things you have come to say here, there is no common sense in it, because Ghanaians, look at the logic. So all the things you have said on this platform, there is no common sense in it, because Ghanaians already know common sense. That is the logic.
I have a right.
Ghanaians already know common sense, so we need not talk about common sense.
Yes. So let me.
What a logic,
Kofi.
Yeah.
You don't listen to yourself.
All the things that Sammy read.
Yeah.
Are exactly is exactly the story you were referring to.
Yes, it's the same story.
So what he has said is
yes,
the same story. And you say that on the basis of that,
yes,
President Mahama insulted Ghanaians.
On the basis of that, I feel that commentary was insulting.
Who cares about your feelings?
I've said that.
Okay, fine.
It's about the meaning of the word Mahama used. It's about what you feel. I'm talking about my feelings. I'm talking about the meaning of the
up next. Up next.
We are talking about the ordinary meaning of the words in the story. Not your feelings. Who cares about your feelings?
In his propaganda.
Your misguided
feelings. In his propaganda. I can even attribute that to your feelings as well. Because you read what suited you. Please, let me speak.
You are here talking about feelings.
Sammy, you read what suited you about e-levy. Is it not on record that the man himself has said publicly that he's against e-levy?
He never said so.
No, hold on.
When?
Doc,
he said it at Peace FM.
When? That was August. That was before e-levy was introduced. But you are a liar. After e-levy was introduced, as he said it, that
was hold on.
That was in August 2020.
Sammy, hold on. Sammy, hold on.
How am I a liar?
You're a liar. Did I give after the introduction of e-levy?
Sammy, please hold on.
Randy, did I give a timeline to the comment I made?
You said on Peace FM.
Yes,
he said that he doesn't support e-levy.
I said that he doesn't support e-levy. Did I give a timeline?
There was no e-levy at the time when he even spoke. He said that he didn't support the taxing of Momo. There was no e-levy in August 2020. After e-levy was introduced in 2021,
Sammy Jenfi.
Yes.
Stop the semantics.
Hold on.
Please. Stop the semantics.
Kofi, let me hear you.
If you charge on something electronic,
no, Kofi, let me hear you. What is the point?
Is it not electronic charges?
What is the point?
The point I am making to you is that one, he has said that he's against e-levy or any form of electronic charges.
Okay.
So e-levy is just a name.
So the point you're making is what?
The point I'm making is that he's against any form of electronic charges on these things. Exactly.
So hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
Okay.
Watched or read Honorable Kojo Nkrumah?
Yeah, I have a story.
Then, as Minister of Information, who said that Vice President Bawumia was instrumental in drafting the e-levy law and putting in that
100 cedis
thing.
Threshold for the vulnerable.
Yes. You see.
No, are you aware?
I'm aware of that. Kojo has even explained it. I have the article where he said. But let's even assume. Please, let me talk. Let's even assume.
But don't put it on record that since the introduction of e-levy, Bawumia has not spoken anywhere against it.
He has.
When?
On February 7th, at his inaugural speech, Bawumia said categorically that he's going to cancel e-levy.
Now that he wants power.
So are you saying that
when the e-levy was introduced,
are you saying that Kojo Nkrumah lied?
Gideon Wako lied.
When Kojo Nkrumah lied, when he said that it was Dr. Bawumia who
was instrumental.
Yes, who did the drafting, the part that exempted some people from the e-levy law.
So I think this is a very simple argument. Randy, if I sit here and you want to introduce a policy, and my argument is that when you tax electronic payments, it goes against the vulnerable. So I am against it. Then you say that I have to do it for A, B, or C reasons. Then I tell you, okay, I'm against it. But if you are going to do it...
Are you telling us what happened?
No. I'm giving you a perfect scenario. I wasn't a cabinet.
No, if you are not telling us what happened, then don't tell us a scenario.
No. Why can't I tell you the scenario?
No, Kofi, hold on. Kofi, hold on. Kojo Nkrumah sits in cabinet.
Yes, but Kojo has even explained it.
Please, hold on. Kojo Nkrumah sits in cabinet. He was the Minister of Information. He told us this.
Yeah.
Gideon Bwako speaks for Dr. Bawumia. He told us that. So how do I leave out those two statements and listen to a scenario setting by you?
No. You see, what I'm telling you is that His Excellency, the Vice President, has made it clear that he is against any taxes on electronic transaction. His Excellency sits in cabinet. So when cabinet takes a decision, whether he is for or against, he is bound by what cabinet agrees on in totality. But he can contribute to the discussion and say, okay, even though I don't agree, if we do it this way, it will reduce the impact on the poor, which is my initial argument. So the Vice President's argument is that if you are going to tax the poor on electronic payments, whom I think will be most vulnerable, I disagree. But
so why didn't the spokesperson tell us what you are telling us when he was asked?
It depends on the question that was asked.
He was asked whether the vice president supports e-levy or not.
First of all, I have to even listen to what Gideon Boako said.
No, we are giving him all the time.
The point is that once something happens in cabinet, it doesn't lie in the spokesperson's mouth to come and say my boss in cabinet disagreed with it. Because it's a cabinet decision. It's binding on all of them. Okay. How can Gideon Boako come and say that?
So then why are you saying what you're saying?
No, I'm just explaining to you that
in your capacity as.
In my capacity as a Ghanaian. What are you saying?
Right.
My capacity as a Ghanaian. I know that. No, please let me finish. I know that the man is against e-levy. He has said it. He has said it before and after the introduction of e-levy. It's as simple as that.
It's very refreshing that Tuntu says that he doesn't sit in cabinet.
But we all know that. But we all know that.
Yes, John Boadu sits in cabinet, and he said, Bawumia fully, emphasis on fully, supports e-levy. His spokesperson, who is paid by Bawumia to speak for him, not Kofi Tonto.
But Kofi has told you why his spokesperson will speak the way
he knows how to speak than Gideon Boako.
That's not what I said.
He said, Bawumia,
you spokesperson works in his mouth.
But if the spokesperson is speaking for Bawumia, who is Kofi Tonto in the scheme of things?
It's a decision.
Why are you entertaining this?
All right. You made a point. We have to go.
You can't say I am a Muslim. I don't eat pork, but I drink pork soup. That can't say
find a better example.
You can't say you are against taxing Momo, and yet do other words.